Hey, hello and welcome to the ninth episode of the Pointy Hatcast. I am your host Sam, also known as Ducky O'Brien on Twitch, and we are joined today by our co-hosts, fellow plant people Barry.
Hello, everyone.
And Isaiah is running a bit late, dropping his parents off at an airport in Japan. Today's episode is on a pretty well-loved sci-fi movie, Blade Runner, and its lesser-known sequel, Blade Runner 2049. As a side note, we are actually bad at this. I made a mistake on our first Pointy Hat to Go episode. Our email is actually pointyhatcast@gmail.com. There is no duh in front of it. Once again, pointyhatcast@gmail.com. If you have any questions or comments or requests for movies for us to watch, please hit us up with the email. All right, here we go. Blade Runner was released on June 1982 in the US. It was directed by Ridley Scott. The script was written by Hampton Fancher and David Webb Peoples. It stars a lot of people, but a few of them are Harrison Ford, Edward James Olmos, which is Captain Adama, right? Sean Young, Rutger Hauer,
Admiral Adama, I'm sorry.
Daryl Hannah, and many more. Currently, as of this podcast, it has a Rotten Tomatoes score of 90% for critics and 91% for the audience. It is based off of a Philip K. Dick novel, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? And then we have Blade Runner 2049, which was released on October 2017 in the US. It was directed by Denis Villeneuve.
Denis Villeneuve.
Sure. The script was written by Hampton Fancher and Michael Green. It stars Harrison Ford, Ryan Gosling, David Bautista, Ana de Armas, Sylvia Hoeks. Did I say that right? I don't know, and Jared Leto.
I don't know.
And many more. There's a lot of people in these movies. I can't list all of them. Currently, as of this podcast, it has a Rotten Tomatoes score of 87% for critics and 81% for audience. All right, we'll do our thoughts on the movie. Barry, would you like to go first?
81% of 10. 8? Yeah, 8 is the number of people that like this movie. That's how many people went to see it.
Oh, dude. I just want to say that I love this movie. I thought it was a lot more fun and engaging, but I felt it was less well crafted than the original. But we'll get into that. My opinions on it.
I would say the exact opposite, actually.
Really? Okay.
I would say the exact well, not the exact opposite. I think this is a better movie in basically every way than the original. The only thing that it's not as good at is that it's not groundbreaking. Nothing in this movie has never been done before. The original Blade Runner, it wasn't 100% groundbreaking. Most of the stuff they were doing had been done before, but
True.
It was the first like cyberpunk film noir. It kind of invented this genre, I think. I want to say it kind of invented this genre.
Yeah, if it didn't invent it, definitely popularized it with this movie. I feel like.
I don't know if it even popularized it because
Okay.
it wasn't popular when it came out. It was not popular.
Thinking back, I'm saying with hindsight.
Yeah, but I mean, aesthetically, it's a very, very influential film. You can see echoes of it in many movies in decades to come. Man, that original, people hated it when it came out. Okay.
Really? Are you talking about the theatrical release?
The theatrical release. Okay. First of all, because the theatrical release was garbage.
Yes.
The original Blade Runner with Ridley Scott, the theatrical cut was a little bit different in composition and structure, but mostly it featured this horrible narration, like voiceover by Harrison Ford, that like he didn't want to do, and you could really tell.
Yeah, I read some of the lines of dialogue, and it was the most typical like detective movie. Like it didn't fit with the rest of the movie. The vibes it gave off. It was so. It felt like a B-tier movie dialogue. Whoever wrote that, I'm glad they took it out.
I mean, film noir in general is like, that's kind of how it is.
That's kind of how it is, but this is cyberpunk.
But I mean, the problem is that it was just so on the nose. Like it's just like explaining to you what you should feel and what you should think. Yeah. And that's like not the point of the movie.
Like, that's what my wife called me. Cold sushi. cold fish. I was like, what?
Cold fish.
What? All right, that fits like the noir part, but like not this movie. It's tackling some serious issues or like things that you want to think about for sci-fi at its time, I guess. It's typical for that.
I don't know. I don't know if there exists a perfect cut of this movie. There's like 20 different cuts.
I watched the director's cut and I enjoyed that quite a bit.
I watched the final cut or the ultimate cut. I don't remember exactly which one. They're pretty similar. The main differences are some remastered elements, and the narration's gone, and the unicorn is in. The main differences.
Yeah. I saw the unicorn.
And we'll talk about that.
Okay.
A little bit later.
Yeah. Talk about that.
But it's one of the more controversial parts of this film.
Yeah.
For people who care about it, the vast majority of people do not care about it. It's gained a very dedicated cult following since its release, because people realized that it was actually a pretty good movie.
It is.
It was a pretty good movie. But yeah, when it came out, it panned. The box office, it panned critically, I think. I want to say it panned critically originally as well. And yeah, I think the new film features better stuff in every department. Better performances, better composition. I mean, visually, I'll give it equivalent, because they have a lot more money and a lot more techniques to pull upon now, you know. But as like a script and as a movie, I think it's just better in every way.
Oh, I disagree with that. I'll get into it later though. Why I disagree. Sure. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, those are my thoughts.
Okay. Yeah. For me, when I first watched the first Blade Runner, I think it was back in college, and I was like, all right, this movie is hyped up as one of the best sci-fi movies, you know, like highly regarded. So I watched it, and I wasn't really thinking at the time. I was just watching it, just letting it wash over me, really. And I was like, man, this is so boring. It's like I didn't pay attention to any scene, any detail. I just remember the end where the android dies and the replicant, and I was like, wow, this was really boring. Nothing happened. They didn't fight, really.
I mean, you're correct.
Yeah.
Well, it is a boring movie.
It is boring. And then so I rewatched it again, and man, it's actually really well made. I really like the editing in this movie. I heard that the original cut was like 4 hours long, and they're like, no, it won't make sense to the audience. You got to cut it down. And I think they did a fantastic job. I feel like almost every scene in that movie plays a part, except for a few that you could take out or shorten. I saw that part where you're talking about where he goes to interview the snake lady and he puts on this fake voice, right?
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad, and I was like, that part didn't need to be in the movie. Like, you could have taken it out, just cut to him going into the room and then just talking to her, and then she just attacks him and they fight, and that could have been pretty good there. Yeah.
And then he just shoots her.
Yeah, just shoots her. Yeah, exactly. That would have worked perfectly. Yeah. And you know, that one, other than that scene, I thought the editing was super tight on that one, and I really liked, and Isaiah said this too, the motivations of the main antagonist or antagonist.
Rutger Hauer?
Yeah, Roy Batty. So like, I really like the end scene too, because he wasn't actually fighting back. He was just chasing him, and with the intention of letting him go at the end. Or maybe not. He just, you know, if he wanted to kill him, he would have just dropped him off the building. But like, he just
it's complicated.
It's complicated. It's complicated. And the only thing that he wanted was to be remembered and to live a life and have those experiences count. I thought that was a very touching end. Other than the weird dove he managed to hold, and I was like, where did that come from? Just finding a random dove and he's holding it the entire time, and then lets it go as he dies. And I was just joking that he was hiding it in his boxers, and that bulge wasn't his dong. It was just the bird, and he pulls it out the last second.
The epic android bulge.
Yep. But yeah, that's scary, dude. Just imagine like a half naked dude just running at you, and you can't stop him. I think that's more scary than a really hot robot lady who's trying to stab you. I'm like, oh, I'm probably gonna die here, but she looks.
At least it'll be easy on the eyes.
Yeah, it's easy on the eyes, but this guy just terrifying.
Whereas Rutger Hauer will just fucking rip out your eyes.
Yeah.
Shove his thumbs into your skull.
Let's go. And then for Blade Runner 2049, I was really sad that this movie didn't do better because I thought it was visually stunning. Yeah, I think it's well shot because it's not like the typical, every scene in the original is nighttime and it's rainy, it's dark, it's grimy. It's set the aesthetic correctly, but like this one dared to use some color. There's a lot of color in there while keeping the griminess, and I thought it was really fun. I was interested. I think the characters are more developed, but I don't think they're better. And we can
use
other than
cinematically, they use a lot more of the color palette, a lot of oranges, a lot of
there's
a lot of green,
white,
a little bit of green.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas the original is just like gray.
Yep.
Gray. There's a little bit of blue, some more gray.
Just like we get it. But yeah,
the future is bleak.
Yeah, future is bleak.
We got it.
I didn't like the motivations of the characters. Some of the narrative elements weren't as logical as I'd like them to be. But for me, the best part of the movie was the character played by Ryan Gosling, Kay. Dude, he's the most tragic character I've ever seen. In like, I
really had my doubts when I saw him cast.
Yeah,
for this movie.
Me too.
I'm like, really?
Huh. Yeah, and he played it perfectly.
Oh, it was great.
It was great.
I really liked his performance.
Not only that, his story is so tragic. It's one of the saddest stories ever. Nothing went his way. Like, absolutely nothing.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that. I'd say that the ending is actually pretty hopeful.
Hopeful, hopeful. I get it.
It's
but
sad, but there's like a little bit of triumph there, which is pretty nice. Pretty nice.
But yeah. Anyways, like the overarching narrative. I didn't like as much, and some of the key plot elements, like thrusts, I didn't buy at all. That's why I liked it less. There's some scenes in there too.
What didn't you buy?
Okay, if you just want to get into it right now. So like the whole concept, we should explain it briefly for the people listening in. So the original Blade Runner is there are androids called replicants. They are basically genetically created humans that are stronger and just as intelligent, but they have a 4-year lifespan, and they're used as a slave labor force in the outer worlds. So they're going off of Earth. They're trying to build an empire for humanity, and they need a disposable slave labor force to have that happen. And they're using, they're not robots, they're replicants. And it's illegal to be a replicant on Earth. They will retire you, which means they're just going to kill you. And Harrison Ford plays a Blade Runner, which is it's basically a space detective that hunts down replicants that go rogue.
Right.
And then the story of Blade Runner, the original one, is there's a group of 6 replicants that went rogue and crashed back on Earth. 2 of them died trying to get into this company that made them, and then the story is the 4 of them trying to do their thing. Basically, they're trying to find a way to live longer, and Harrison Ford is tasked with killing them. Blade Runner 2049 is the replicants. They fixed it, quote unquote, and now they obey. And this is a movie where basically Harrison Ford not married, but like had a baby with the replicant, Rachel.
With Sean Young.
Yeah, Sean Young. And
so
then
it's Rachel?
Yeah,
Rachel.
And which
is probably the least believable part.
Yeah. It is. And Jared Leto, who plays the main quote unquote villain, or the new CEO of the company, Wallace, he wants that baby so that he can create replicants that can procreate, because he can't build them fast enough. So he wants replicants to multiply so he can go faster in conquering space. All right, there we have it.
He literally wants to breed them so he can get more.
Yep. So this is why I kind of didn't buy it. Like, it might have made sense in that universe and the character's head, but for me it didn't. So the main thrust was like, all right, we need that replicant baby, because it's a symbol of hope for replicants and a symbol of fear for the humans. Because they're like, oh, if replicants can breathe, we're equal to humans. But the thing is, you can't. Rachel was the only one who could, and she died. And then that's why Wallace is looking for this baby so he can create more replicants that can procreate. But it's been said in the previous movie that you can't change the genetics of the current replicants. So all the existing replicants can't procreate right now, other than that was it. Like, so for me, the whole thrust of like, oh, we need this baby, or like as a symbol of fear for humanity, whatever, I didn't buy it because Rachel was the only one and she's dead.
It's about seizing the means for production.
I know. I know what it means, but like as a narrative, like the story beats, just the story, take out all the meaning behind it. I didn't buy it. I was just like,
the idea was. I don't think the idea was ever to get the current replicants to be able to have children.
I know. I'm saying like it defeats the
future
purpose. Yeah, the future.
Yeah, the future generation.
But that's only if Wallace creates a line of replicants that can procreate after he gets his hands on the baby, right?
That's his motivation.
Yeah, that's his
motivation. Well, so the motivation for him is to just be able to make more.
Yeah.
The motivation
because he wants to conquer space now, and he wants to do it faster. So I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the cop wants to find it because she wants to kill it because they can't allow replicants to control like their own destiny.
Yeah.
That's the idea. And then the replicant revolution wants it because they want to control their destiny.
Yeah, they're like, we're gonna be free. We control our own destiny, and all that. And I was just like, well, it didn't. I didn't buy it.
It made sense to me.
It kind of made sense, but like logically speaking, they can't procreate unless Wallace gets his hands on the child. And
why not? The child can procreate. That was the point, right?
The child? Oh, the child can procreate.
Yeah, the child is still technically a replicant, but she should be able to procreate. Is what I got from it.
But still, I still didn't buy it. Like, it's not like all of a sudden replicants can procreate and we're like, oh, we're finally equal to humans. Like, you know what I mean? Like. So like that thing I didn't buy. Like,
speaking of which, oh my god, I'm looking at the keywords on IMDb. Yeah. The top keywords are black bra, menage a trois, short skirt, micro mini skirt, two women, one man.
Okay. All right. So like another problem I had, was first of all, Joy, the AI hologram for Ryan Gosling, she's perfect. Like Isaiah said, she's bae. Oh my god, dude, like. But why was she there? Like, I didn't like there's too much emphasis on this character who's too perfect and like basically
it's kind of
a waifu.
Well, that's the point. It's like he's basically playing The Sims in real life.
Yeah. I understand that part, and like it plays into the tragedy or the arc of his character, where the only person that loads him back is an AI, is a hologram, and then she dies. Like, and then he's never gonna find that again, or maybe he will. Who knows? But like, she's dead.
Yeah.
So that part I like. But like the other parts,
It's re-emphasizing the fact that his character is like this. It's like living in like a box, right?
Yeah,
everything that he has, everything that he holds dear is fake.
It's fake, yep.
And then is entirely in control of like Wallace and these corporations and outside powers, and nothing in his life really belongs to him. Mm-hmm. Like when his lieutenant shows up at his house, he just drinks all his booze and he just smiles at her. You're like, man, this.
And then she was like trying to hit on him,
sucks.
Yeah.
It's all little character building stuff. And it all furthers like the final theme.
Yeah, so like parts of that I totally agree with, but then like the threesome, it didn't have to be there. Like, there's a couple.
I liked it.
Okay,
it was cool.
Like the thing I didn't like was I hate when they not pander, but like treat the audience as being too stupid, so they gotta emphasize parts. certain parts of the movie. So like did you watch Red with Bruce Willis?
Which one?
Red. R-E-D.
Red.
Yeah.
I did not.
So there's a hilarious part, I think it's Red 2, where they're advertising Pringles, and how they do it is Bruce Willis is fighting these commandos in like this warehouse with shelving. I don't know if it's a warehouse, a building with shelves. And like a soldier steps on some Pringles and makes a loud crunching sound. So Bruce Willis knows where they are, and he just whacks him from the other side of the shelf. It's pretty hilarious.
If you want to see the most obnoxious example of product placement in movie history, I can give it to you.
Really? Oh, dude.
World War Z.
Yeah.
In the climax of the movie.
I watched it, but I don't remember this.
In the climax of the movie, they're in like the World Health Organization building, right? And he's trying to get back into he got the
cure
box of viruses
or whatever. Yeah.
And then he's trying to run back to their room, but there's like a horde of zombies in their way, right?
Yeah.
And he needs to distract them and pull them away from the door.
Oh no! What does he use? Yeah.
Like the whole movie stops and it cuts, and he's standing next to a big Pepsi machine.
Oh really?
And he's holding a Pepsi, and he cracks it open. And he takes this long sip, and he goes.
Okay, I gotta rewatch that, dude.
It's
like
30 seconds. I swear to God, it's like 30 seconds.
They must have made a lot of money for the movie.
The Pepsi machine is center frame. And like Brad Pitt's off to the side, and he's just drinking a Pepsi, and he's like, and then he like punches it, and like just hundreds of Pepsis spill out, and that's how he just gets the zombies.
Okay, I gotta rewatch that, dude. Man,
I was like, oh my God,
this is awesome. That's the most blatant form of advertising. Blatant.
I was like, good thing I'm in a theater drinking a fucking Coke.
Yeah, Coke over Pepsi, dude. Yeah. Anyways, so back to that thing, the part where she puts the tracker in his jacket after having that threesome, the hooker lady, and then she's like pats it gently to make sure it's there so it doesn't fall out. All right, so that part I was okay with, but then later when they follow him, she takes it out of his pocket, and like the camera's like zooming in on it, or it's not zoomed in. It's zoomed in already. It's not zooming in. And I was just like, okay, I understand how you tracked him when you put it in his pocket in the first place. You don't need to show me that again. You know, like there's many scenes like that.
Where I mean, it's just there's a couple moments like that in the film where they just give you a reminder. It's probably not necessarily, but like. Movie audiences are stupid.
Yeah, okay, I get it. That's why I said 2049.
Don't trust them to follow this stuff.
2049 is more appealing to me. I had way more fun with it. I think they took a lot of smart steps in balancing, keeping it smart and understandable and entertaining. And I think they did a great job with that. But the result of that for me was I felt there were more scenes that weren't really necessary in that movie than the first one. The first one, I can only think of one off the top of my head. They did have a few transition scenes with Coca-Cola.
There's a Snake Lady scene.
Yeah, Snake Lady scene.
There's the zoom enhance scene.
Oh yeah.
It takes like 15 minutes.
Yeah, they do that again. Yeah.
And just zoom enhance, and you're like, fuck.
Dude, cut that scene in half, man. Like,
cut it in like a tenth.
Yeah, tenth. That would have been fine. There was no need.
The same scene, but it took like 5 seconds in 2049.
Yeah, I enjoy that. Yeah, but more like, I had a lot of not elements. I was gonna say elements for some reason. I had a lot of moments in that in 2049 where I was like, all right, I can. This is seen as watchable, but it's not really necessary or like world building or developing character. But there are some small ones that are really nice. I thought that were really funny that have these little small touches on the film that make it more alive, like that scene where Harrison Ford is pouring himself and Ryan Gosling some whiskey, and then he just dumps some on the floor for his robot doggo, right?
For his dog.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure it's fake, but you never know. It could be in a real doggo. It was so quiet.
So that scene, by the way, is making fun of the original Blade Runner. It's making fun of the controversy over whether or not Harrison Ford's character was a replicant in the original movie. When Harrison Ford is just like, ask him.
Oh yeah, ask him. Yeah.
I was just like a big fuck you to Ridley Scott, basically.
Dude, man, they have another moment like that too, where they're talking to Wallace, right? Harrison Ford met Wallace, and he's like, "All right, maybe you were genetically engineered as a replicant to fall in love with Rachel, so that you guys can fall in love and have a baby, and then create this race of replicants that can procreate, or you could be human," you know. And then Harrison Ford is like, "I know what I am. Screw you," and then that's it. So like,
yeah, it's just a little bunch of little nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, God, there was like a fight on set about this too, because Ridley Scott, ever since that movie came out, has been insisting to everyone that will listen that Harrison Ford is a replicant, and like just will not take another answer. And he got into it with like Harrison Ford on set of 2049 about it.
Really?
Harrison Ford's like, "Fuck you."
Great. But yeah.
Yeah,
it's better.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. It's better this way.
Ridley Scott will insist until the day he's cold, dead, and in the ground that Harrison Ford is a replicant in that movie. I think having it be a question is better.
Yes.
But I think the movie as a whole works better if he's not.
Yeah, I totally agree.
It works better if he's not.
Yeah.
I do like that they addressed that immediately in the new film by just saying like, "Hey, he's a replicant." Like, "Hey is a replicant. Now we're gonna move on."
All right.
I appreciate that very much.
Do you want to go over the scenes why you can go for both sides of the argument and the original?
In the original, I mean, in the original cut, the unicorn scene was not there. Right?
Yeah. That's a huge.
And then in the director's cut, it was there.
It's a huge giveaway, right?
Yeah.
But there's still some doubt, though. Yeah.
It kind of spells it out.
Yeah.
But like, really, I don't know. It's kind of a nothing.
Yeah.
You know. The reason the movie works better if he's not a replicant, like the entire parable of agency and free will makes more sense if he's diametrically opposed to Rutger Hauer's character, right? Rutger Hauer's character is an artificial being struggling just to live, essentially.
Yeah,
and
literally
he's
live.
like grasping for life. Meanwhile, Harrison Ford's character is a human whose life is basically in shambles, and he gets called into service for one more job, you know.
Yeah.
And then he falls in love with Sean Young's character, who he has zero on-screen
chemistry
with it in any way. And it's like, okay, well, if he's a replicant, none of that means anything.
Yeah.
None of that means anything at all, you know?
Yeah, like Wallace said, he's just programmed to have all of that happen.
Yeah, so it works better if he's human.
Yeah. So I thought that if Rachel was the latest line, right, with the implanted memories, and Harrison Ford has been around for a bit, like that would mean he's one of the older models, and he would be dead in like 4 years, depending on how long he's been serving. Unless he's made super fresh and had all the memories implanted, and everyone else around him is acting like he's been there for a long time, right? Like a huge conspiracy. I didn't see any signs of that whatsoever in the original.
Yeah, I mean, in the movie's logic, it doesn't make any sense, and in the logic of a narrative, it makes even less sense.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just this idea that Ridley Scott has, and for some reason he's just latched onto it, and he won't let it go.
Well,
but
I'm glad that they made it so it's a question, because the answer really doesn't matter for me. I mean, yeah, it's true, but it's better if it's human. But like, who cares, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and that's part of why I appreciate the newer movie more. it still asks great questions of the audience. It asks you to think about it, but like narratively and structurally, it's much more concise and cohesive and like to the point.
Okay.
Like in the original movie, Harrison Ford's character like seems really incompetent. I don't like he doesn't seem terribly good at his job.
I think he's good at profiling, but not good at the shooty shoot part.
I don't think he's particularly good at anything.
Really?
Based
Okay.
on the scene with the snake lady.
Oh, that scene was terrible. Right, that's the worst scene in the movie by far. Let's just pretend that didn't happen.
Ryan Gosling's character is like a pretty competent cop.
Yeah.
He does cop things like investigating crime scenes.
Also, he's super strong.
Clues.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's more believable, yeah, because when he fights Dave Bautista, who is huge, that's a pretty good fight.
Oh, dude, that scene where he just smacks him continually until he goes through the wall.
Just grabs him and just smashes into the wall.
I was like, yeah.
50 million times.
I was hoping he'd like grab a chair and just like WWF, old school WWF, smash him on the head. I wish that happened. That'd been pretty funny. Just then The Rock comes out and then Stone Cold comes out.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. I think, man, like Sean Young had just nothing to do in the original movie, and like all the performances were really flat, but hers was like double flat. And she just like she and Harrison Ford hated each other. First of all, they hated each other.
That makes sense.
And like when they kiss in his apartment, she's like, "I don't want to do this."
Yeah,
like, I can tell you don't want to do this.
I read like he shoved her too hard in that scene, and she was pretty pissed off. That's what I read. That's why I was like, oh.
Sean Young is pissed off at the entire universe.
Okay,
Don't read too much into it.
Gotcha.
She is full on crazy.
Oh, okay.
Since before and then after this movie, she is like insane.
Really?
Yeah.
She was pretty good looking in the movie at that.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to her. I think she got blacklisted or shitlisted and then like did not take it well and just like has had like a 4 decades long breakdown.
Oh, that's tragic, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I mean it just works better as a movie for me.
Gotcha. Yeah, like
2049.
I liked it because like they were flat because they're not real people. Her especially when she found out that her memories are fake and she's like, who am I? Like, what's real? Can I trust myself? That was what that whole scene with Harrison Ford. I was looking it up. Sorry, were you gonna say anything? What are you gonna say there?
No, go ahead.
Because that scene bothered me a little bit. It kind of I didn't like what happened there. No, there's a lot of SJW types that are gonna say that scene was rape. I'm not gonna go that far, but like she's trying to leave because she's confused. She obviously has feelings for him, which doesn't play on screen because they have no chemistry, like you said. And it just slams the door shut and it's like telling her what to say, so that she can vocalize it, externalize what she's feeling internally, right? And just saying, all right, it doesn't matter if your memories are fake. This is how you feel. Let's give it a go. But like, if I was in that kind of situation, if I found out that something that brought to question my entire being as I knew it, and I was like doubting myself, I'll be like, all right. And I met a hot girl, and she's trying to make out with me, and she's like, let's go to Bone City. Let's ride this train to Bone Town. And I'll be like, hold up. I need some time to think about this, like. So she didn't say no or anything, but like that scene just made me a little uncomfortable because again, there's no chemistry, so I didn't buy it. In fact, I felt like there was the opposite of chemistry between the two.
They hated each other.
Yeah. So that was unfortunate.
They hated each other.
Yeah, just a side note there. But yeah, that's why I was like, all right, I am okay with the flat acting because there's one scene that made up for it where Roy Batty, the antagonist. I can't pronounce it now. The wrong way.
Antagonist.
The antagonist. There we go. I'm tired. But like when he was telling Pris that Leon died, and he was sad, but he was acting like a kid that was sad, and that was great because he only had 4 years to develop emotions of his own. And I was like, all right, these are his genuine feelings, and that's why his character is kind of a mix of this, you know, vastly intellectual person who beats the bridesmaid in a game of chess, is quoting random lines from books and poems, like was it America Prophecy was one of them by man, I have it here somewhere. Anyways, so you know he's like an intellectual, but then emotionally he's more like a child, and he has a very simple reason for everything he's doing. He just wants to live more. So like that's why that I liked. Whereas 2049, I didn't see that as much because the replicants were supposed to obey. So how are they gonna do a revolution if these new lines of replicants weren't able to disobey? But the part that saved it for me was Ryan Gosling's character arc, where it's totally everything's sad. and like he plays it so well too. And like Harrison Ford's acting was good, but it didn't fit the Deckard that I saw in the original Blade Runner. It's just old man Harrison Ford being old man Harrison Ford. Like it's great, right? He can act, but it didn't fit the same character for me because I think he kind of forgot what it was
with
like.
With his old man T-shirt.
Yeah, with his old man T-shirt, he's just being an old man. You know, like. So those performances are like whatever. Joy, awesome. Love was awesome too. It's like you can tell she has some issues, like some deep seated insecurities. You know, like when she fights Kay, she beats the crap out of him. She just like kisses him on the mouth, and she's like, "I'm the best one." And I was like, "Oh, okay, you definitely are," but like. So insecure about it.
She was kind of hitting on him.
Yeah, in the beginning.
First scene they meet.
Yeah, that too. It kind of reminded me of that scene. Was better played out if you compare it to Harrison Ford's scene with Rachel, because there's no chemistry, and they're like, "Oh, she was hitting on you." And I was like, "What? No, she wasn't." Like, not based on the actual chemistry I saw on screen. Whereas this scene. That scene in the very beginning where he's asking for data about, you know, basically the pregnant replicant lady, and she's giving it to him, she's totally hitting on him, and he's totally not interested. Like, I thought that was great. Yeah. But yeah, his character arc, I want to get into that. Anything else you want to add on? I was just rambling on because there's so many things that stuck out to me about both movies.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with both these movies.
Yeah,
very dense. I think, yeah, like again, the relationship between Ryan Gosling and his virtual reality waifu is way more convincing than Sean Young and Harrison Ford. You know,
totally.
Yeah. I mean that's just it in a nutshell. That's why that's part of why 2049 worked better for me.
Yeah.
What did you want to go on next?
Yeah, the Ryan Gosling's character arc, because man, that is one sad character. Like, oh my god, it's so sad.
Yeah, everything sucks for him.
Everything sucks for him. Like his life. His life.
Everybody treats him like crap.
Yeah.
Like in the police station, like all the other officers are like
swearing skin job.
Like, fucking skin job. So he goes back home and people are still swearing at him. Like, get the fuck out of here.
It's like an old lady like yelling at him.
Toaster.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man.
Oh my god. He's just like not even doing anything and just goes into his house to his robot waifu. And like, my goodness. That's the only love little simulation life. Yeah. It's not even real.
Yeah.
It's so sad. And then he gets something that gives her freedom, like it just displays her wherever he goes. And it looks like a A vape. He stores her in a vape.
The little virtual reality vape machine.
Yep. And like, and then she dies. Just love just stomps on her.
Like his the third party girl kills the true waifu.
Yeah, she's
like an anime, dude.
It is like an anime. Like the scene is they found Ryan Gosling found Harrison Ford, and they got tracked down by Love, the robot ninja lady, and they beat the crap out of him. And he's down on the ground. His virtual vape comes out on the ground, and then his robot waifu comes out, and then Love sees it. She just casually walks over and then stomps on it, just kills her like it's nothing. And then her last words are "I love you," right? And then he goes outside and he sees the virtual poster of Joy, and then he finds out where she got the name for him. It's just from an ad. It's not even anything special. It's just programmed into her. And I was like, oh my god, this feels so bad. Like, imagine losing the love of your life and then finding out that it was probably a lie. Like, none of it was probably real, you know? I mean, it was real, but like,
I mean,
as real as you can get for him.
It's a question that they ask you. It's a question the movie asks you. Was that real? Yes or no? It's kind of down to you to decide.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
I appreciate that too, because like, it hits you, like, because it makes you question, was it real? And then you kind of want it to be real, right?
Well, he wanted it to be real.
Yeah, I wanted it to be real.
It's all he had.
Yeah, it's all he had, exactly, because I felt so bad for him. And then and then the other rest of the movie was, right, the replicant child, and this movie is hinting all along that's Ryan Gosling, and that he's special, and that he wants to believe it deep down inside, and he convinced himself, and then later he finds out that it's not him. It's someone else, and it's like the whole reason
keeps kicking him.
Yeah, the whole reason why he's been fighting was like, I'm special. I'm that robot baby who can make other robot babies and free my peoples. And I was like, no, you're not. You're just a robot. I mean, not a robot. You're a replicant. It's different. They're basically genetically modified humans at this point. But yeah, he's nothing special, and that's so sad. Like, it's the opposite of a shonen anime where the guy is nothing special, and then you find out he has something very special and becomes a hero, right? This is the complete opposite here. He's literally nothing special. He's just a regular replicant.
Yeah, I think it's kind of great.
Yeah, it's kind of great. I loved it because that character was developed so well. Also, that plot twist. The twist wasn't really the focus, like M. Night Shyamalan.
It's just to give you another kick in the nuts.
Yeah, it's just another kick in the nuts, and it felt so real, and you felt it in your gut, and just felt so sad for this character. And then the other robot lady's like, you gotta go kill Harrison Ford because he'll give our robot army away. You know, he'll give our plans away. And I didn't buy that part either because Harrison Ford was literally guarded by 2 police cars that couldn't do jack, and Ryan Gosling just mowed him down right away. So, you know, he could have been like, hey, rescue him. If you can't, kill him. You know, I would have bought that more. It's something small, but like, and then he saves him so that he could have the life that he couldn't, you know? And then just lying there dying at the very end. At least knowing he did something great.
Yeah, he did something of his own volition.
He did.
For his own choice.
That's a victory, yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's kind of hopeful, and I kind of like it.
I like it too. I like that arc a lot. I didn't really care for Harrison Ford or his character.
I think Harrison Ford's character would have been 100 times more effective if he wasn't on every fucking promotional poster for the movie.
Yeah. He's just like, oh, remember him from the original movie? We got him.
Like, the build up to that scene would have been way better because you go like 2 hours before you see him anyway. It's just like, oh, there he is in his t-shirt.
Old man.
Old man,
drinking
angry
whiskey,
t-shirt.
Yeah.
drinking his piles and piles of whiskey.
I was thinking when I saw that scene, dude, I was like, oh man, I bet Barry would love to live there. Just like all the whiskey you can get, it's everywhere.
Oh, it would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like
That was the main thing for me. Like I thought, that's why I thought this movie resonated so much, and like had a real character that I could relate to, whereas the original Blade Runner, um, didn't really have that character development or building as much. Like it had better character motivations for me personally, but like there's no character.
Rutger Hauer is much more the protagonist.
Yeah,
than
exactly.
Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
He has an objective and he's going for it, and then he dies.
Yeah. He doesn't. Yeah, just dies. Like tears in the rain.
Like tears in the rain.
Yeah.
That famous line. It's so good.
So good. Yeah.
Partially
improv,
or so mythology goes, partially improv.
Yeah. It was. It got me too. I was like, I feel you. You should have lived. But you can't though. That's the sad part. You can't.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like both these movies are very, very stark, very bleak, very atmospheric, which I just love.
I love it.
Okay. And man, they are not. Both of them are not afraid to hold a shot.
Yeah.
You know, they are not. They are goddamn not afraid to hold a shot. For a very long time.
That's what I like. I like it. I appreciated it.
I like it. You just have time to bask in the atmosphere, you know?
Totally. Like especially the intro scene where it's just zooming in on that city, the Tyrell Corp building, and it's going on forever. Just that scene itself, yeah.
It's like the iconic sci-fi dystopian futurescape.
Yeah.
You know? And 2049 opens like polar opposite, like you're over like Death Valley. Just like this unending gray desert. And I appreciate that they didn't just copy paste the original there.
Yeah, they didn't.
It would have been so easy to just like replicate the shot.
Totally. And I like the fact that they do refer back to the stuff in the original movie, but it's more palatable. It's like it's easier to digest a little bit. Like that scene you were talking about, the zoom in and enhance. It's just like over in a jiffy.
It takes like 2 seconds. Yeah. He just looks at it. He's like, "Hey, look at this."
Look at this.
And that's it.
I like how ghetto the technology is.
Yeah, like they pay a lot of respect to the original.
Yeah.
Like all the technology, the look and feel of the movie, like they like the little microfiche thing he's doing with the DNA scans, with like the clicky, you know, everything is like like future anachronistic, you know.
Yeah, it's future retro, you know. That's
future retro.
Yeah.
It's the future as it was imagined in 1982, and they really respect that aesthetic.
Yeah.
Denis Villeneuve clearly has a lot of love and respect for the original, and did a great job replicating and paying homage to the original without just making the same goddamn movie.
Totally. Kind of like Star Wars.
Kind of like The Last Jedi.
Not Last Jedi.
It was a perfect homage.
No. Yeah, dude, I can't wait for Christmas, man.
Well, it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. You know, why don't we just all go on the boat here and just we're all gonna argue for Last Jedi being the best movie ever made, and that's how we make our mark on cinema history by convincing people that it was the best movie ever made. I'd be down for that. Because everyone already bashed it to hell and back, so why do something that's been done before? Let's do the opposite.
Every single YouTube channel is like, this movie was the worst movie of all time.
Or I personally didn't like it, but I didn't think it was the worst movie. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll just add in some side notes for the movie that I really enjoyed for the first one. I liked this future retro cyberpunk city. I like how, if you imagine it, it's like a grimy city, and there's all sorts of ethnicities there. It's like kind of hodgepodge together. Like, people are walking and they got these weird goggles on with lights. They have lightsaber umbrellas. That's right. The umbrella stick lights up for some odd reason. Because I guess it's so dark there. It's the future, exactly. And then he goes in. Harrison Ford is reading a newspaper in the very beginning of the movie. And then he goes to an Asian street vendor, a food vendor. And the guy is Japanese. And his Japanese is pretty good. So I was like, thank you, casting director, for casting a dude who can actually speak the language. We need more of that. Yeah. Like, it felt nice. And then there's some like humorous touches, like the color his character, like he's very snarky, and he's eating noodles at the stand there. And then Adama comes in and is like, bro, we gotta go. Chief wants you. And he's in the cop car and just floating up, and there's like steam coming out of it. I'm guessing to hide the wire work or whatnot. And he's still eating the noodles in the car. And I was like, that's pretty funny. Like, the character building, like the light, like touches here and there of adding color to the characters, more subtle and nuanced in the original movie, whereas in 2049 I think it's way better. It's in the forefront, like, you know what's happening, like, you can see it. Like, if you totally miss that part, you kind of miss like a small piece of his character in that movie, because it's not displayed a lot, you know. Yeah.
And a quick note on that, Ryan Gosling also basically opens the film eating noodles as well.
Oh, I totally missed that.
Did you miss it? His meal in his apartment, and I think what Dave Bautista was cooking was also noodles with garlic.
With garlic,
but,
yeah.
Yeah, you might have missed it because they project a holograph of like a steak.
No, I was looking at it and it looked like
cypher
worms.
Steak.
Yeah, cypher steak, dude. Cypher steak returns. I thought it was worms or something. It looked nasty. I didn't know it was noodles.
Yeah, it was noodles, and I mean, this is part of what they established about how shitty everything is that Dave Bautista it's a protein farm, right?
Yeah, worms.
And what he's farming is maggots.
Yeah, maggots.
Maggots for protein.
Hey, it's better than cockroaches, right?
It might have been maggot ramen. Who knows?
Delicious. Extra protein.
Little larvae things.
Yeah.
I mean, you do what you gotta do. Get some protein.
Also, I liked how it has the text scroll where it's like replicants, retirement, those kind of concepts are introduced, so like you get what's happening. I kind of find it a little cheesy. I kind of want to find out through the movie itself, but you know, it wastes no time in setting that kind of world up, because otherwise the movie would take forever.
It's fine. I was just like, it's great. We get it.
You get it. You get it.
Just go.
Yeah, just go. Same with 2049. I was like, okay, we get it. Also, great. I really, yeah,
it's just like, good, great, just gonna move on.
Yep.
That's all we need.
That's all we need.
It's perfectly
That's
fine.
how they cut 2 hours off of the movie with that text scroll.
Yeah. Just text scroll.
Yeah. I really like how they had transition scenes where it was basically an electric billboard for Coca-Cola, and then 2049 had it as well. I was like, heck yeah. I'm a huge fan of Coke, yeah.
And like the Atari logo and all that stuff.
They had Kaas, I believe, headphone. They were making headphones at the time, probably more. Like Walkman. Did they make CD players? I don't remember. 1982 was before I was born, so I don't know what they made at the time. Radios, maybe.
I don't know. Okay. I really don't know, but it's like they went back and recreated all of that.
Yeah. And one other thing I wanted to mention, there's a scene where the two replicants, Roy and Leon, walk into an eye store. It's literally a store where this dude is making eyeballs for replicants. And I was just gonna throw in an Apple joke there. but I'll just leave it there. iStore.
The iStore.
The iStore, yeah. Man.
Yeah, like we've talked about the visuals. Let's take a moment to appreciate the soundtrack for both these films.
Oh yeah.
Which is just great. This synthwave. Who was it that did it? I believe it's the same artist.
I'm trying to look it up in the credits.
But like just this very atmospheric synthwave. Very heavy. Like in the theater, it was great. It was wonderful.
I wish I saw this in the theater.
Just like that reverb you get is astonishing. Vangelis. Yeah.
Look up his art. It's work.
Vangelis. It's great. I believe he did it for both of them.
It fits.
Yeah. It's great.
Anything else?
Yeah, I just really needed to mention because it's so good. It's so good.
Gotcha. All right, well, let's do our recaps real quick. This one's a short one. So we're missing Isaiah in the land of the weebs.
Land of the weebs.
Land of the weebs. He's trapped there. We must free Isaiah. Hashtag free Isaiah.
I like how the the scene when they go to, was it LA? It's kind of It's kind of very similar to the Thor Ragnarok scene where he fights all the scrappers.
Oh yeah.
He's like it's way more violent. But like they shoot him down in the middle of LA and it's just like this like horrific wasteland. And they want to like strip him down for parts, whatever, right? And he gets out of his car and he just starts beating the crap out of them. And then they're like starting to overwhelm him. And then Joy is just like orbital bombarding them from a satellite while she's getting her nails done.
You gotta,
and it feels very similar to Thor Ragnarok to the point where I believe Ragnarok was sort of paying homage to this because Ragnarok did come afterwards, I think.
Yes, this was 2017 for Blade Runner.
Thor Ragnarok was also 2017. Wow.
Maybe at the same time. What a coincidence. There's maybe borrowing ideas from each other, quote unquote borrowing.
Maybe.
Makes sense.
Thor was in November and Blade Runner was October. They had to have finished filming. Unless they were still filming somehow when Blade Runner released. But that was like, it felt very similar.
Yeah. Also, that scene, I felt like you could have taken out as well. Because I was like, wait, he just, like, entire like population of people got wiped out and they don't refer back to it ever again. I was like, who are these people? Are they
it kind of works for like world building.
It does a little bit.
It really sets the tone for how again for how shitty everything is in this world.
I like the parallel because the scene that was in the original was these tiny people. He's just driving his car, stops for a bit, and they're all over his car trying to strip it for parts while he's still in the car, and it just drives off, and they got like a piece off, and I was like, hey, don't you need that? What part is that of the car? It's just like he doesn't care. I felt this scene was way more visually stunning, right? I mean, he's just wrecking people, and then missiles fired from orbit.
People are getting blown to pieces by this orbital bombardment. It's so violent.
Yeah, it's so violent.
Like there's like a bunch of little scenes where like for a few frames you just see people fly apart.
Yeah.
And they just blood splatter. It's like, oh man, this is great.
Yeah.
I really appreciate this movie as a hard R. It's definitely rated R.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, I should
Was the
probably
original
include the
rated R?
ratings.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
imagine
rated
because
R.
ratings were more strict back then. The Fugitive was an R back in the day. I remember because I rented it from the library on VHS, and it was an R rating. That movie is like
Yeah.
tame by today's standards, but
Yeah, this movie has everything. It has boobs. It
there's too
has
many boobs
blood.
though. I felt like it's too much, you know.
Too much boob.
Gotta tease the boobs, you know.
I feel like there's enough boob.
Hashtag free the boobs.
There's enough boob in this
Free
movie.
boob. Okay. I don't really care for boobs. Yeah. Unless it's Choi,
Yeah.
then I'm like, all right. Robot waifu, let's go. She's perfect.
Robot waifu.
Oh yeah, I was like saying if that was a real thing, I might be tempted. You know, robot waifu. Even though she's a hologram, I wouldn't mind, right?
It's fine.
Fine.
Yeah.
It's like Alexa, but you know you can see her. Is basically it. For me, at least. Now, if she could actually like do stuff, like household work, I'd be like, all right, I'm in. I can be lazy. So Lucy Liubot from Futurama.
No? Exactly.
Exactly.
She's
right.
She's a Lucy Liubot.
Yeah.
But a hologram.
But a hologram.
Yeah, man. Like these movies spend so much time building this world.
Yeah.
Every grimy little detail, all the extras.
I like the neon lighting.
Like the orphanage scene where they got like hundreds of child extras.
Oh yeah, that's
and
great.
They line them up. They're like, "All right, you're ready. We're gonna throw a bunch of dirt on you, make you look like scum." And they're all be on this movie.
It was sad too because they're being sold. You know, I was like, oh
yeah,
my
they're basically
goodness.
they're being straight up sold away.
Yep. Everything sucks in that world.
Everything sucks for everyone, but the movie managed to end on hope. You know,
yeah,
it gives you a little bit of hope.
Yeah, same for the original. I feel like, but not as hopeful because you don't buy the romance between Harrison Ford and Sean Young.
You don't buy the romance, and then the stupid little crane, the unicorn that Admiral Adama leaves for him.
Oh yeah, I think it would have been better.
Like, I've already been here. I know where you are. And you're like, yeah.
I wish they took that out because it would have made for a much more impactful ending. Feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Darn it, Ridley Scott, stubborn.
Ridley Scott.
God dang it.
Once upon a time, an incredible movie maker. Now he's still all right.
What has he done lately?
Prometheus was garbage, but I didn't watch the sequel to that. Prometheus was pretty bad. I don't think it was a bad movie. I don't know. It's just so hard. It's so hard to say I hated that movie because there's so many parts of it that are just really good.
Okay.
Like it's like he makes visually stunning movies, but like they just don't make any sense.
Oh, he did The Martian. That was great.
Yeah,
Poop potatoes.
The Martian was great.
Yeah.
But The Martian was written for him by a competent writer.
Right.
It was adapted from a novel that was already good by a competent screenwriter. And then they had the input from the original author as well.
Well, who wrote Prometheus?
The guy that wrote Lost.
John Spates and Damon Lindelof.
Yeah, Damon Lindelof. I'll put all of the blame for the nonsensical nature of the script from Damon Lindelof.
Okay.
He's the king of, this would be cool, and then nothing comes of it.
Well, he did do the screenplay for World War Z. Maybe he put in the Pepsi scene. You never know. It could be like a genius.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe he's secretly a genius.
No, I'm just kidding. I hated Lost. I'm sorry. It had a lot of promise, but like
he's basically a hack. I don't know. He's had a couple good scripts, and then like mostly it's garbage. Maybe he does better when he has like a good co-writer, but like in general, they're just really bad. Really, really bad.
Gotcha.
What else? He wrote like Star Trek, a couple of the scripts for that, but like Prometheus, Lost, and a few others where like they set stuff up and it doesn't pay off. Like they introduce an idea and they never explore it. Like that's like a hallmark of his writing.
Dude, I just remember the ending of Last. It was so stupid. That just blew my mind. Like, Jack just puts a giant butt plug into the island's butthole, and that's the ending. That's the actual ending, because everything else that came afterwards is like in purgatory or whatnot after they're all dead already. And I was like, bro, you answered none of the questions. There's no closure. It's just a lazy way out.
Exactly.
Yeah. He just
wrote a bunch of stuff down. It's like, I just wrap it up. Whatever. Who cares?
Like I don't care. He had no answers, and the things he introduced created more questions instead of more answers. Like it just gets worse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just a constant train wreck.
Sorry, I maybe we should do like a Lost versus Suicide Squad, which is worse.
Well, it's not fair. It's not a fair comparison.
I know it's not, but it'd be fun. It doesn't have to be fair.
Like, what, 10 seasons to make sense of itself?
I don't want to watch it though. Like I don't want to watch it again.
No, yeah. Suicide Squad was just 2 hours or 90 minutes.
Well, you can make a 10-hour cut, you know? It's like putties hanging out, and they're like, what do we do? And like, I don't know. Let's just roam the streets, I guess.
We're just putties. Let's run around like putties and do flips over a camera. Yeah. Point it up at the sky.
Yep. God dang it. Now that you mentioned putties, dude, I'm always going to call them putties.
Because this is what they are. This is what they look putties. Like. It's what they act like. They're just putties from Power Rangers.
Do putties make sound? Do they make sound? Oh, okay.
You remember that?
I forgot, dude. I forgot. I gotta have to look it up again.
That's the song they made.
All right.
But anyway, back to good sci-fi.
Yes.
Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049 introduce concepts and then like pay them off and then have like a cohesive theme and like emotional center to the movies.
Totally.
And Prometheus doesn't have any of those things. It doesn't have any of those.
It looks nice, right? You said it looks nice.
The characters act according to like motivation and logic.
Mm-hmm.
And Prometheus doesn't have that. You know. Oh man, I don't know what happened to Ridley Scott, man. Maybe he just gotten senile or something.
It could be same as Spielberg, you know.
Well, Spielberg still has good movies in him, I think.
But it's more, I don't say kid friendly, right? For the most part.
I don't know. The last one he did was Ready Player One, which was okay. It was a really okay movie.
It's a pretty okay movie.
Yeah. Before that was shit, I don't know, Indiana Jones and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
No, dude, Crystal Skull was so bad. It was one of my...
I have to blame that on Lucas more than anything.
Really? Okay. Because if that was like... That's where I thought Spielberg lost it, you know, when I saw that movie, because I was excited. Like, a new Indiana Jones movie. Let's check it out. It's going to be awesome. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen. Not as bad as Suicide Squad, but yeah.
Here's what happened on the set of that film, okay? They filmed the opening scene with Shia LaBeouf, where they introduce his character. And then Lucas started stepping in and doing his Lucas thing.
No.
And Spielberg's like, okay, George, whatever you say. And then started turning the shit. And then Spielberg just gave up. But that opening scene is actually really good.
What's the opening scene? Are they like...
where they go... Well, the opening...
Are you talking about the college campus scene, or where they're...
the college campus, where like he's in the diner, and then like they start a fight with the greasers, and like there's that little motorcycle chase like through the library and the streets, and it's kind of charming and fun, and the whole little action set piece is like, it's like classic Spielberg, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was pretty good. And then the rest of the movie is just dog shit.
Yeah.
It's
Still better than
just like,
Suicide
okay,
Squad, though.
George, whatever you want. Whatever you want,
Yeah.
George.
All right. Let's wrap it up here.
Sure.
Let's wrap it up. All right. We'll just recap our thoughts.
Well, hang on. Let's take a quick moment to talk about the director.
Okay.
And
for 2049 or Ridley Scott?
Yeah, 2049. Well, okay. Ridley Scott. Well, I think everybody. Well, Ridley Scott has done a lot of great movies and
well
some
established
not great movies.
Yeah.
You know, he did Blade Runner, obviously.
Alien, right?
Oh man, he's got a very, very long.
It's too many movies.
Resume. Yeah. It's way too many. But let's go back. Let's go back. Director. Let's see. He did Blade Runner. He did Alien. Okay.
Yeah, the first one.
The first one.
Yeah,
the sci-fi horror one.
Yeah, sci-fi horror.
The second
not
one was
action.
James Cameron.
Yep, that was the action one.
And I would have to rewatch both. I'm not sure which one I like more. They're both pretty good, very iconic.
For different reasons.
So Alien, Blade Runner, and then next big one is maybe Thelma and Louise, Gladiator, Black Hawk Down. Black Hawk Down was pretty interesting.
Oh, he did Gladiator?
Yeah.
Dude, I love that movie.
Yeah.
I watched it when I was a kid. It kind of scarred me.
Yeah, and then it was like maybe Matchstick Men, Prometheus, and then the Martian.
Martian, I liked a lot too.
Alien Covenant. I feel like The Martian is just a product of the book. You know?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
The movie is just a really solid adaptation of the book, and I respect that.
Yeah, totally like Blade Runner. It's based off a book. You know, I like it.
Yeah, it changes a bit.
It does. It does. I think they said they didn't read the book itself.
Yeah, I'm sure they didn't. So I don't know, like The Martian. Great movie. I actually think the directing in that movie is a little bit uneven because Matt Damon is a perfectly capable actor, and like at no point do you get any sense of weight to his predicament. Well, I guess a couple moments, but like overall, he's pretty cheerful.
He's Matt Damon.
Yeah, he's just Matt Damon.
Team America, like, Matt Damon.
I think with a little bit more focused directing, they could have gotten a little bit more out of it. But great movie otherwise. In the book, he gets way more fucked than he even does in the movie. A lot more bad shit happens to him.
It's okay.
Which I like. I like more misery. I like wallowing around in it. Which is why I liked Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049.
Totally. 2049 especially, dude.
Oh, there's a lot of misery there.
So sad.
Ridley Scott is responsible for some of the most iconic sci-fi movies of all time. And you have to respect that. But
yeah, totally.
He's just... I don't know if he's running out of gas or he's just... Something happened, but he's not created anything truly original or spectacular in a while.
It might be like the Lucas effect where you just need to give up a little bit of control.
Yeah, maybe it's just too powerful.
Yeah, like I think so because like Blade Runner.
Lucas made much better movies when he had other people that
said no to him.
Could tell him that he was a dumbass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like Blade Runner 2, like they're always arguing whether or not Ford is a replicant or not, and
just let it go, dude.
Yeah, just let it go. Like there's two people who are like, no, he's a human who fell in love with the replicant, and then he's like, he's a replicant who's just a replicant, and then those two sides clash, and then you kind of see that tension throughout that movie, and it's made for a better movie, I feel like, rather than just make him a replicant from the get-go, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, so Ridley Scott. Now, Blade Runner 2049 is Denis Villeneuve. He's French Canadian, and I think he's probably the best sci-fi director alive
Yeah,
currently.
really? Okay.
Man, he's like look at the care he put into this movie.
Totally. I could see it was well made. Oh, he also did Arrival.
Yeah.
The recent Arrival,
Arrival, Sicario.
Yeah. Well,
Blade
Sicario is not
Runner.
really sci-fi, is it?
No, but it was still a great movie.
Yeah, it's a pretty great movie. Yeah. Nothing related to sci-fi.
No,
War
but
on drugs. Yeah.
Good movie.
Yeah, good movie.
And then Arrival, which was a great, straightforward sci-fi. Blade Runner 2049, and now he is filming Dune for 2020.
Oh.
Which I am cautiously excited about because he's attached to the project. There's a lot of talent attached to this project as well.
Zendaya's in it.
Zendaya's in it. Jason Momoa, Josh Brolin.
Okay.
Oscar Isaac. You know, there's a lot of stuff
Oscar
going on
Isaac.
here.
Some
Oscar Isaac. Yeah.
Dave Bautista. He's in every movie now, dude. He's in it. I swear.
Love it, dude.
Yeah, you love it.
It's great.
It is great.
Man, I'm very excited for this movie because the story can be done very well, or it could be done like a giant piece of shit. Have you seen the documentary on what was supposed to be the original Dune movie?
No, I did not watch the original Dune movie either.
No, but like there was.
No, I didn't watch it. Why?
Well, that was his own thing, but there was also it was supposed to be made by this guy called Jodorowsky, and there is a documentary called Jodorowsky's Dune, where it talks about like all the pre-production and stuff that went into the original movie that was going to be made based on this director that was going to make it, and what he did, the cast and crew and all the people he wanted to pull in for it. And it's crazy some of the stuff that went on behind the scenes for this. Like they wanted Salvador Dali, like the artist, to be in it, and like he convinced him to be in it. They wanted like the original production design for Alien basically is a result of the pre-production for Dune, because H.R. Geiger, the guy that produced most of the original designs for the Alien and like the sets and stuff like that, right? He was originally discovered by this guy Jodorowsky.
Wow, okay.
Who just happened to see his art, and he pulled him in onto his art team for pre-production. They started doing
did he make
sketches.
that scene in Annihilation? Because it felt super alien-esque a little bit, like the chamber. Yeah, did he do it, or was it like a homage?
It might have been an homage because even in the latest Prometheus movie, I don't think he did any of the design for that.
Unfortunate. Okay.
Yeah, very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, you should watch that documentary. It's actually.
I'll watch it. I'll watch that and Dune.
Really fascinating.
Wait, does Dune have the space worm?
The sandworms?
Sandworms, yes. Space sandworms. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's Dune. The spice must flow.
It's like, I swear I watched it when I was younger, but I don't remember it. I'll have to see.
It's a very old movie.
Yeah, like I saw some random movies.
Everyone wears funny hats. It's great.
Is it anything like Tremor? That's what I'm thinking of right now.
It's nothing like Tremor.
It's nothing like Tremor. All right. So imagine when I heard space worm, you know.
It's like this, like sci-fi space epic, but not really space epic. Most of it's on a planet.
Tatooine.
Yeah, it's basically Tatooine.
Yeah.
It's basically Tatooine. But yeah, it's something I'm excited for. It's an older property.
Okay.
The books are thick.
Yeah, I did not read the books either.
They are thick, my friend. I read through them once upon a time, and I remember very little because they are so long and involved. But that means they have a lot of material to draw from, and I think Denis Villeneuve is a guy that can do it well.
Totally, because after watching 2049, I'm convinced that he'll do a fantastic job with Dune. Then, if it's anything like this.
Yeah, it looks like very well crafted. It's so meticulous.
Yeah,
you can tell there's a lot of care in every shot, every prop.
Also, the casting was great. The dialogue was great. Even the minor nitpicky things I have, I felt like the key thing though, he made a modern Blade Runner that works. It has more appeal than the original movie, which is unfortunate because it still didn't do well. But like, I was imagining,
shit in Blockbuster.
But like, it's like has everything you want. Yeah, it has everything you want in it. Yes, come on. This is why we can't have nice things.
Guns. What more do you people want?
Robot waifu, yeah, like, man, yeah. Like I was imagining though, like where this movie was going, right? Because the third story would have been basically an all-out war against, replicants and humans. That's what I'm imagining, and maybe it wasn't like that because I haven't read the book.
I don't want to see that movie. I don't think that. I don't want to see that movie.
No, I'm just saying like it would have been more mainstream. That's what I'm saying. Like maybe bring more attention.
Maybe, but I don't think that's what Blade Runner has ever been about. It's never been about action at all.
Yeah.
Like there's like no action in these movies, which is why people are just bored in the theater.
But there's enough, dude. It starts off with him, fighting
boring.
Batista. It starts off with a WWE match, not like the MMA or anything.
The action is all very, very sparse, but effective. I'd say effective.
Yeah.
Man, I could probably name all the action set pieces off the top of my head, like the opening fight
on the farm.
On the farm, and then like, man, it's like 45 minutes later, and then he's the car scene, where he gets downed in LA in his car, and like they're getting like orbital bombarded. I
love that because they basically harpooned his boat with the kite, and the kite goes into the sky and gets hit by lightning, and it zaps his car down. I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty smart. I'm kind of sad these intelligent.
Franklin his ass.
Yeah, these people deserve to live. Whoever made that kite, I hope you're alive. It was Pointy Hat Man. Maybe he was in there.
Franklin.
Yeah, you got Ben Frank, dude.
Oh man, it's hilarious. It's so clever. I'm pretty sure the guy's dead though.
Yeah.
Got demolished.
As per tradition of Pointy Hat Man, live like you die.
Just gone forever.
Yeah.
They die like they lived.
Yeah.
Uselessly.
And like really short.
Yeah. Man, yeah, I'm excited to see more from Denis Villeneuve. I think he's a fantastic director. And I think if you have an opportunity to see this on streaming or wherever, I would recommend it. Set aside some time, on a quiet evening where you can appreciate it, because it's a slow movie, a very slow burn.
Totally, you can watch 2049 without having watched the original because they do a great job of summing up the parts that you need to know to understand this movie.
Yeah, including CGI Sean Young.
Yeah.
I wonder if they paid her any royalties for using her likeness. I bet not.
Probably not.
Probably not. And then she's probably very upset about it.
Yeah.
Because nobody cares.
Yeah, no one cares.
Nobody cares.
Maybe like they composited like footage from the original movie, and then they're like, oh, this is not CGI, it's from the old movie. We already have rights from the original. Maybe they like get around it that way. I don't know. Actually, that's a good question. I don't know how they get around that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, they spend a good amount of time, like, just just enough time, I'd say. Just enough time telling you what you need to know.
Totally.
So I don't know. I'm sticking to my guns. I still think 2049 is a better movie than the original. I don't know if it's a more remarkable one, but as a movie, it's more enjoyable for me.
Yeah, for me, I agree with so like my opinion is I thought the original was better crafted but way more boring, whereas 2049 I had a way more fun with, and I resonated with the characters more. I related to them, but there's some parts, like some scenes, some narrative structure that wasn't as well developed as the original, and like half naked robot man with Dove. I feel like he's the strongest character so far because he has goals, whereas Ryan Gosling is just sad. Everything is sad. He thought he had a goal, but turns out it's a lie. And then I was just like, all right. His character is really sad, and it kind of can relate to that a lot. But I thought Naked Android guy was
Rutger Hauer.
Yeah, Rutger Hauer was a stronger character for me. Like the ending was way stronger, whereas the rest of the movie is, like I said, I thought every scene, the editing is really tight on it, other than, again, Snake Lady scene, just cut that in half. And good point, I forgot about the zoom in and hand scene that went on forever. Just cut that by...
It's easy to forget about it, but...
Yeah, that one wasn't as bad. Like, yeah, it's like, oh. It's like, come on, zoom in and hands, dude. Really? Come on. Can we get rid of that?
It just goes, I mean, it's fine, but it just goes on and on and on and on. It's just like Harrison Ford's on a couch.
Yeah.
There's nothing visually interesting about it.
I wish, like, if it was building up to something where, like, oh, what's that, right? Like, if they did that, I'd been okay, but it's just flat. It's just, there's no meaning to that scene. But yeah, I thought 2049 had more of that, more of those kinds of scenes. But yeah, overall, like if I were to recommend a movie, I would highly recommend 2049. And then if that piques your interest, then watching the original, I wouldn't flat out recommend it, because again, I think while the original is better crafted, for me, it's too boring. Like,
oh, it's real boring.
Yeah, it's real boring. Like, unless you like boring movies. You know, or you're like interested in the origin of Blade Runner, totally. But like for a movie recommendation, all in on 2049. Has everything you want in it.
Yeah, it has boobs and guns.
Yeah, boobs and guns. All right. All right. Any final thoughts to recap before we head off here?
Please go see movies like this, guys. Like, if these keep flopping,
they stop getting made. Yeah,
they're gonna stop getting made, and we're gonna be left with just garbage.
Ghostbusters.
That's all we're gonna have left.
Transformers.
Just another Ghostbusters every year.
Yeah.
And Transformers. Like, please go see good movies like this. Like, spend a little bit of cash and support these films, and just make sure that you don't go in expecting like an action blockbuster. Spend some time, a little bit of time thinking about it. A little bit of time appreciating like the craftsmanship and the astonishing visuals, because this movie is stonking beautiful.
It is. Did they use practical or CGI or both? Because I couldn't.
It's a combination of everything.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't tell really, because it just looks so good.
Yeah, they use a lot. They use miniature. They use CGI. They use a great blend of everything.
Okay, I appreciate that. Looks fantastic.
I mean, if it looks good and you question what was CGI, that means that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Right? It doesn't matter. I was just wondering the techniques they used, because I was like interested from a filmmaker point of view.
Yeah, at that point, all that matters is that it's good.
Yeah, totally agree. All right, for me, yeah, I highly recommend it. Same reason, like Barry said, I'm not gonna recommend a movie if it has like makes you think, or there's like like hipster talk, like Annihilation. I felt was a little too pretentious. I'll still recommend it because what it did pretty well. And Blade Runner 2049 is a good movie. Like, take away all the serious stuff as a piece of cinema, I think it stands pretty darn well, and it's kind of sad that movies like this are being overlooked, whereas you get something like Transformers or even the original Suicide Squad, because I say original because the second one's being made, but like that did better than Blade Runner 2049, and that makes me incredibly sad that an incredibly it's so depressing. It's like Ryan Gosling's character arc there where everything's just sad.
Everything sucks. Yeah, everything constantly sucks. Reminded about how it's terrible.
Yeah, like people keep complaining about bad movies in the theater. It's because you're not going to watch the good ones, or at least you're not paying money for the good ones. Like, I'm part of the problem as well because I don't watch a lot of movies in theater, mostly because it costs a lot of money, but I do go out once in a while, and I think there's not many movies like this coming out in the year anyways, so I think it's kind of worth it to support it, you know. Yeah.
Up next, Pandorum.
Pandorum? No, we're doing Evangelion. End of Evangelion, right? As per request by Fink.
Yeah, I guess we could do that for like, well, we'll see if it's a quick episode or like
okay, gotcha. But that's coming up. Hey, that's right. If you have any questions, comments, movies you would like for us to watch, please send an email at pointyhatcast@gmail.com. Again, that's pointyhatcast@gmail.com. Sorry, I came out the wrong email on the last podcast. Also, if you want to send an email at Barry saying why he's wrong about The Last Jedi being a decent movie, you can also send email to that address as well. Alright, just at Barry.
Feel free. Yeah. I'll ignore all of those emails.
Oh wait. Did you get the forward for my test email or no?
I did.
Oh, you did? Alright, then it's working because I got the forward as well. I will
see them and then promptly ignore them.
Alright, okay, just another recap. It's a great movie. It has sci-fi, it has boobs and guns like Barry said. It's slow, it makes you think enough. It's also interesting, visually stunning. The narrative and the character development is pretty strong. Even though I can nitpick some parts for based on personal preference, it still is this narrative that you can follow, and it's just good. All right.
you can appreciate it.
You can appreciate it. Yeah.
Like as a film noir, you can appreciate it. As like a sci-fi, you can appreciate
sci-fi. It. Dystopian future. What I really wanted, the one thing was a side note here. I forgot. Jared Leto played Wallace, and I liked his performance, even though Wallace was like a throwaway character. I wish.
I kind of like that he wasn't a villain.
Yeah. He's just a guy.
There's like no arch nemesis or whatever. Yeah. He's just there. He's just part of the world. He's like just further emphasizing how much everything sucks.
Pretty much.
Everything in the movie is just like, oh, it's a bleak dystopian future where there's no plants and no everybody animals. Eats maggots.
Yeah.
And like corporations control everything, and this crazy, eccentric, blind guy is basically corporate god.
Yeah. I really liked his performance, and one thing that I wanted to see, one thing that would have been with the times, was what if the villain was Bezos? What if?
Jeff Bezos?
Yeah, what if the corporation was Amazon, dude? Oh man, that would have made a statement. You know what I'm saying? Sort of replicants.
Not gonna happen.
No, I know it's not gonna happen. I know it's not gonna happen, but I want to see that all those poor people working in the factories. There's a comment if you watch as of last week tonight with John Oliver did a segment on warehouses, especially Amazon ones. There's a dude where he's like, it's almost like they're robots, but obviously they're not. I was like, yeah, dude, they're humans. What do you think? But I was just like thinking, because it's like replicants, they're like, almost like they're robots, but they're obviously not, because they're obviously human, right? human-ish. To me, they're humans.
Androids, dude.
Not. I feel like they're not robots, though, right? I don't think they're. Aren't they like produced in like a cyber womb when they come out like a real baby, you know? But they're
it is
fully
a
grown?
birthing matrix, just like Superman.
Gotcha.
I don't know. Whatever.
That sounds good. I like how they. Yeah.
They don't spend a lot of time explaining the technology.
Yeah, like the scene
which is fine.
Where the naked lady just plopped out of the plastic bag onto the floor and just like looking at her and just stabs her and walks away. Out. Yeah, just barfed out. I just reminded me of Amazon, dude. Factories.
It's like your package has arrived.
Yeah, your package has arrived. And like, or like they're putting her into a box and they're shipping it. Yeah, exactly. They made a little joke like that where it's like, oh, you can get a package from Offworld in like it was like 4 days or 4 weeks, something. I don't know. I forgot what the date was, but it just reminded me of Amazon a little bit. And I'm just saying Bezos as a villain would be great. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
The dystopia is now. It's now. So, kind of.
I don't know about that.
I mean, cricket bars are trying to push that on us. I'm like, I don't want to eat bugs. I'm not there yet. I'll eat it when I have to. I guess I would eat it if I had no choice. But like if I have a choice, I don't want to eat it.
I feel like I might have tried it already.
Really? I mean, there's bits and pieces and peanut butter and everything that you buy from a store anyways, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
If you take a look at like footage of inside of grain mills, like they straight up just devour birds.
Really?
When they're milling grain. So you're getting a little bit of extra protein in there.
Oh, heck yeah.
For free.
For free. That's why it's going, dude. It's free, dude, as long as it's free.
It's like every loaf of bread, it's like 1% pigeon.
Wow. All right.
Something.
Okay. I'm okay with that. Because I don't like pigeons. It's like flying rats.
Oh, I like pigeon. I eat it semi-regularly. It's pretty
really?
Good.
How does it taste?
Gamey.
I had duck meat before.
It's like super dark, super gamey. It's not a lot of meat, but it's a surprising amount. A surprising amount considering how small you imagine the bird to be.
Man,
but
okay.
It's pretty good. You can usually get it at Chinese restaurants.
I wanna go try some. I'm down.
Yeah, it's good. It's legit good.
Is it expensive though? Anyway, I imagine, right? Because it's so tiny.
I don't remember. It's usually maybe like $10 for a dish. It's not like it's probably not going to fill you up. It's usually like an appetizer. All right.
$10 is not too bad, I guess. It's kind of
I recommend it on approximately the same level I would recommend Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, so highly recommended.
No. Highly recommended.
Okay. You heard it here, folks. All right, I think we're done there. Before we go, though, we have to rate Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049 based on our Suicide Squad rating scale. I'll get Isaiah's input later. All right, so for the original, what would you rate
the original Blade Runner? Yeah. Man, that's tough. Like as a film on its own, probably like a 7.
Okay.
Considering its place in history and everything it means for cinema, probably higher than that. But as a movie by itself, I'd say probably a 7, and I'd probably give 2049 like an 8.
8 Suicide Squads. Oh, okay. Okay. For me, I give Blade Runner the original 9 Suicide Squads. Okay, this is not based on like how like official rating scale. This is based on Suicide Squads. So like for me, I'm just thinking this is way better than Suicide Squad, even though it's boring. So I'm gonna give it a 9, and then a Blade Runner 2049. I'm gonna give it also a 9. Again,
I kind of want to give 2049 a 9.
Okay, let's give it a 9.
Like, maybe like an 8.9.
8.9. Okay.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm just going for a 9.
9.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll give it a 9. I'll give it a 9.
9. Okay. Again.
Like its major flaw is gonna be just like the very slow pacing.
Totally.
For many people, for me, that was fine. Even a plus.
Yeah, this is
like
not.
So many movies these days are like just cut,
Totally.
cut, like scene to scene, action beat every 15 minutes, and it's like it's so done that it's almost boring, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
This movie is like movies like this that just let you take your time, like soak it in. I really appreciate. So yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm giving it a 9.
Okay. Yeah, the reason why I gave it 9 Suicide Squads is because Suicide Squad was also very slow, but like in the wrong way, in every wrong way possible. I thought it just dragged on, and I wanted to stop watching.
It was fast paced as far as like the edit.
Yeah.
But it was slow paced as far as things that get accomplished.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
what I meant.
Nearly nothing.
Nearly nothing.
Nearly nothing.
Nothing gets accomplished other than making a garbage movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we'll have to get Isaiah's input on our official spreadsheet here. But yeah. I think that link is pinned on the Discord channel for the podcast. All right. That's it. Any final things you want to go over before we sign off here?
No, I think we've covered it very well. Great performances, solid visuals, cohesive story, very good movie.
Yeah, relatable characters for me, especially on the second one, 2049. The first one, it's Robot Man, naked Robot Man.
Everybody's an asshole.
Yeah, pretty much.
In the original.
Oh.
I don't know if you can be sympathetic to anyone except, I guess, Rutger Hauer.
Yeah, Rutger Hauer.
I mean, so sort of, you understand his plight, but he's also an asshole.
Totally.
I mean, he just like, fuck you. He shoves his thumbs into the guy's eyes.
That scene was, that was so...
It's so violent.
It's so violent, and like his face too, because it's like a lot of emotions going through it, where he's just like angry and like sad and everything just coming out at once. I thought he did a fantastic job, but I wish they...
I think we can, on the same note, I think we could take a brief moment at the very end here to mention all of the religious allegory that's in both these movies. And there's a lot of it.
Yeah.
There's a ton of it. I feel like it's obvious enough that we don't have to cover it a lot. But like, in the original one,
literally puts a nail through his hand.
Yeah, it literally puts the nail through his hand, and like his father is God or whatever, and he just fucking kills him.
Yeah.
Fuck you. And then the new one,
it's more straightforward. It's like coding, like
like Jared Leto is the new God, and like they don't play around with it at all. It's just like, should an angel not bring a guest when he enters the kingdom of God?
Yeah.
Whoa, bro, tone it down. Bring it back a couple notches.
Yeah. But also as a side note, like final things we're going over, like next time, because my outline was a little incomplete today, so it might have felt a little disjointed. So I'll do a better job with that next time. We're still getting better, but every time I see Jared Leto, dude, I like his performances. In Suicide Squad, I liked his Joker. It wasn't the Joker that I wanted to see, but like...
Oh, I hated his Joker. I hated it.
Yeah, I hated it too, but like I liked his acting because like because everything else was so bad, it stood out to me as being, you know what? He's doing a pretty fantastic job acting. Just maybe the dialogue and the director or the direction they went in wasn't the Joker. It was just a generic villain guy,
maybe
crazy
it's the
villain
writing,
guy.
Directing, I don't know.
Maybe I don't know.
He just felt like a thug.
Yeah, that's what I meant. He's just a thug. A crazy thug. I'm okay with that. That's not the Joker, but like for that movie, but like I saw him in this movie too, and I was like, do you know what? He's actually pretty decent. Just give him the most like like hammy characters or like overacted. If you want something overacted a little bit, you know, I think I would give it to Jared Leto. You know, like something
Maybe
dramatic. I'm excited to see what movies he does because I think.
Well, he's in the new Joker movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, as what?
As the Joker.
Oh, I thought that was Joaquin Phoenix.
I'm pretty sure it's Jared Leto. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know.
Maybe you are. Maybe.
Oh, quick aside, just because I've been watching through the movie again while we've been talking about this. That scene where he's fighting Harrison Ford in like the Elvis show.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Harrison Ford decks him for real.
Oh really?
On accident, he like clobbers him.
Dude, that's funny because I thought the punches looked a little heavy. You know, like it actually hit.
Well, I mean, most of them are fake, but I believe they used the take where he like legit decks him. And like they cut, and Harrison Ford's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry."
That's pretty funny. Wait, they're making a third Tron, by the way.
Tron 3, the Troning?
Yeah. Oh wait, no, he is in a Joker movie, Untitled Joker Harley Quinn project.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, but I was thinking of the Joaquin Phoenix version coming out pretty soon. I forgot what it was called.
I don't care, dude. I just don't care.
Really? I thought it looked pretty good.
I don't care. Like, I'll wait to hear reviews. I'll wait. I don't know. Like, all the movies have been so bad.
Yeah, you're right. This one looked promising. So, hey, the bar is Suicide Squad, dude. The bar has been set as low as you possibly. It's literally on the ground. In fact, it's below the ground. You just have to walk over it.
They hit the ground floor and they brought out the shovels. Started digging
all right, guys, let's dig in. We gotta make this as low as possible.
How low can you go?
Maybe that was their plan, dude. Maybe they're like, all right, guys, our movies have been sucking lately. Let's make the worst movie possible so that every movie after this will look pretty decent. That was their plan, right? Because how else do you make a piece of garbage like this bad?
I don't know, man. It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. I like how almost every episode, I think it's been every episode, we just come back full circle to Suicide Squad. Everything comes back to Suicide Squad and how bad it is. Like
until we discover the next terrible movie.
Yeah, dude, that will be the day that we find Pointy Hat Man. Yeah.
I mean, we can pick one out, find some real stinkers, and review those.
No, let's not do that. I want it to happen organically, where we just stumble upon it. Then you're like, you stumbled upon treasure, but it's the complete opposite. It has no value, and you wish you didn't find it. You never found it.
The real treasure was the terrible movies you watched along the way.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, but yeah, I'm a fan of Leto now. I hope I see him in more movies.
I'll reserve judgment. I think he's probably a good actor, but
yeah.
His performance in this movie is so over the top.
That's what I mean. I like him as an over the top actor. That's what I want to see more of. I didn't say good actor. Well, he's probably good. He's probably fantastic. But I feel like he's dedicated to his roles. When I watched it, I'm like, this guy really, really bought into his character.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. All right, I think we've very well covered it. Please go see this movie, guys.
Please watch it.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, it's never too late. Like if you purchase the Blu-rays or watch it on Netflix or Amazon Prime, whatever services are available, it still counts for this movie. And like if people see that this kind of movie is making money, then they'll be.
Oh my God! Here's Isaiah.
Jared Leto's garbage, by the way.
Oh, dude, you came in when we're ending, man.
All right, let's bring it back.
Let's bring it back. We're doing it all over. We're doing it all over.
Okay, guys.
No. Stopping my recording. We're starting over.
We're starting all over again. All right, Isaiah, why don't you go over your thoughts on the movie?
Are we all doing Audacity? Is that the thing now?
Oh yeah, we are. Are you recording?
Oh, is that what the hip kids are doing? Hold on, let me start.
No, that's what the poor kids are doing. We can't afford Zencaster. We can't.
You are so right.
Yeah, we can't afford it. We're gonna run out of the free hours, and then we're like, well, I guess we're using Audacity now.
And we're done.
Yeah, two podcasts.
That's it.
Although this one has been short because you weren't there, and I guess roughly.
My side comments.
Yeah.
Well, in general, I'm finding that movies that we like are going to be a shorter podcast.
Yeah, totally. Because
there's not as much griping.
Yeah.
That is very true.
Like we're just focusing on the things we really like. Yeah.
Like there's only so many times you can say like the movie's good.
Yeah. Actually, Barry, you're right. Because like I'm thinking of the things that I didn't like, and they're so limited and so like not important to the movie that it doesn't really matter. I do like bringing them up because like some things bug me, but
yeah, I don't know. Like,
it doesn't stop me from liking
it's just
the movie.
very small nitpicks. Yeah. Like this movie is so beautiful. You can probably pause it on any frame, and it's lovely.
Yeah,
it looks like a painting. Literally every frame of painting.
It's like Spider-Man. The Spider-Verse.
Okay. I guess.
Yeah, well, that movie is more like every frame looks literally straight out of a comic book.
every frame of comic.
It's amazing. Yeah, the aesthetic was astonishing in that movie.
It's amazing.
The Far From Home was pretty good too, but I think we should talk about that in its own separate podcast.
Totally.
Once Sam has seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, once Sam has seen it.
Yeah. So I already know Mysterio is a bad guy, but is he a bad guy?
Is he a bad guy?
Yeah, is he a bad guy? I want to know. That's what I want to know.
Are you gonna watch the movie?
I'm gonna watch it. I'll. That's the question I'll bring into while I'm watching the movie, and that's the only thing I want answered.
Okay.
Out of the movie, yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's a fair question to go into the movie with.
Because if he's a bad guy, it's a straight up villain, I'm gonna be a little sad, you know. It's been done before.
That is, hit us with your thoughts on Blade Runner.
It's gonna take an hour. First one and second one, yeah.
This is my hour section now.
Yeah, this is your hour section.
Man, the first Blade Runner movie, honestly, the first time I watched it, I was just like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
I just remember finishing that movie being like, I am so confused. Like, is Decker like a human, or is he like a replicant, or what are they trying to say?
Well, which cut did you watch, Isaiah?
I've seen both.
Both? There's like 7.
Well, I've seen the director's and then the theatrical.
There's the theatrical cut, there's the extended cut, there's the director's cut, and then there's the ultimate cut.
What is the ultimate cut?
I don't fucking know.
What?
I think it's the director's cut but remastered.
Okay. I watched director's cut.
What? Okay. Oh my god. But yeah. I love the whole theme where they're kind of like the replicants are bad guys, but are they bad guys, you know?
Yeah, no, it turns out they're not guys at all, you know?
And sometimes they're women too.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. But
approximately 50% of the time.
Yeah, 50% of the time, you're right.
Strange.
Yeah.
I think there might be some coincidence, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like how they play into this whole idea of like this replicant's murdering people, but all he wants is literally just to live and be able to live a life with his memories. That's kind of really sad.
It is.
Yeah, when he brings his grievances to his father, he's like, "Give us life," and he's like, "Nah,
I can't.
fam."
Yeah, I can't do it.
The best part is you find out in this movie that he had the solution all along. He's like, "Nah, fuck you."
Nah, you gonna die.
He just murders him.
Oh man, it's so brutal that scene. Anyways, just pokes his eyes out. Just
amazing. But yeah, Harrison Ford, I don't know. He's like, I like him as Deckard, but at the same time, it's like, you know, I feel like some moments just feel very like he didn't want to act a certain scene, or he didn't really want or believe in certain aspects of his character. which in like the monologue I think is so funny if you guys have seen it.
I've seen parts of it. They're real bad.
Yeah, I just read it and I was like, I don't want anything to do with this.
Imagine an actor that doesn't want to be there acting out that
I'm gonna go listen to it after this because I think that'll ruin the movie for me.
And then everyone in the room's like, "You were contractually obligated to do this," and then he's like, "Oh my god, I hate all of you."
Do the worst possible job ever. Am I? Yeah.
Well,
in that case, give me my money.
Little did they know how little I care.
You underestimate my power.
Yeah. But you're right. Baron was talking about how his acting is kind of flat. There's no real on-screen chemistry with him and Rachel, Sean Young. Apparently, they hate each other and all that. But yeah, I agree.
Hate each other.
Yeah.
Most of Hollywood hates Sean Young.
I didn't know.
That feels bad.
Yeah, it feels bad.
Feels sort of bad. I don't know if it's.
Oh, that's like deserved.
It might be deserved because she's done some.
Does someone deserve to be in Ace Ventura?
She was in Ace Ventura?
Is that a deserved punishment?
Whoa, dude, I love that movie. It's one of my favorites.
I think so.
Like a glove.
Yeah. Just crawling out of the rhino butt because it's too hot. Bumblebee tuna, he kept saying that. I don't know what he meant by that. Apparently that was an actual brand of tuna.
Bad guano.
Oh yeah, guano.
I remember from that movie the rhino scene, like a glove, and I remember when he's fighting the guy in the village. I think they just throw spears at him.
I remember the Monopoly guy. Do not pass go. Do not collect $100. And I remember his boss. If that's Sean Young. It's like super hot detective woman. It makes out with her. Turns out he's the villain who got a sex change operation and is hiding his wee-wee and just turns her around. It's like sticking out from behind her. I remember that.
The plot twist.
I don't remember that part at all.
Yeah. I was like, oh! I was like, oh! As a boy, I was like, what? As a kid, you're like, I don't understand what's going on, but is that lady a man? I don't understand. Why does she have a pee-pee? What have you brought, Isaiah? This is what happens when you come out at the end. All right, sorry. Continue. This is where our extra content comes in. The bulk of our content.
This is where the nonsensical portion comes in.
Yeah.
I agree with what you said earlier, Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we were messaging, you were like, "I wish that there was more world building." Because everything's very implied.
It's very subtle.
And it's like believable.
Yeah.
It's believable.
It's believable.
But it's like you kind of want more.
Yes.
I want more at least.
I want more. Glow stick umbrellas? Yeah. What else do you have? Glow stick shoes? Like, show me more.
Is this Tokyo and America fused into one?
Exactly.
Is this actually Big Hero 6?
Oh.
San Fran, Tokyo?
Oh, what if it is?
San Fran, Tokyo confirmed?
My God.
Is this, instead of San Fran, Tokyo, it's like La Kyoto? LA and Kyoto combined?
Oh, okay, I like that. La Kyoto.
It's La Kyoto?
Is this in San Francisco? I don't remember.
Yeah, the first movie has a title card where it's like Los Angeles 2019.
Yeah. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
How disappointing. This is what they imagine the future to be.
Yeah, the future right now is just like emojis and social media.
We have robot waifus, though.
We do.
We're
getting there. Living the dream.
We got that going for us.
Yes, yep.
And with VR, I think joy is actually possible.
Oh yeah. Sign me up.
Sign me up.
Sign me up.
Robot waifus for the win.
Yeah. I'm obviously kidding,
I thought the first Blade Runner was better made, but the second Blade Runner movie, 2049, was like a visual masterpiece. I thought it was stunning.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And being able to watch that movie in theaters was like quite an experience.
Lucky.
Oh, it was one. I think I might have seen it in IMAX.
Wow.
Yes, the only way to watch it.
It was staggeringly good, and with the soundtrack like just blasting through your chest cavity.
Yeah, the sound design, you're like, oh, you can feel it.
So good.
That's funny because I was talking to my cousin about Annihilation, all these movies, and he was saying that all he got from Annihilation was that the ending was too loud. Like he watched it in the theaters, and that's all he got out of it. It's like, it's too loud, bro. I couldn't handle it. That's what he said.
He's like, it was too loud for me, man.
Yeah, it was too loud for mankind. I was just like, I could imagine because that scene was pretty loud on my headphones, just being in a theater and just like having it shake your entire body.
Oh, I think I was like sitting right in front of like a speaker.
Oh my god! It was like
blasting through my cranium. I'm like, oh,
bring it on! You're like, yeah,
give it to me.
Okay.
Harder, daddy.
Truly
yeah.
beautiful. But I thought, man, it was so funny when I watched 2049.
Yeah.
Because I watched it with a group of maybe like 8 people, and me and one other dude had seen the first Blade Runner movie, but no one else had. And they're like, this Blade Runner movie looks pretty good. And in my head, I actually even said, I was like, guys, are you sure you want to watch Blade Runner?
Are you sure you have?
I don't think you know what you're signing yourself up for. And lo and behold, everyone hated the movie except for me and that one guy.
You need new friends.
Yeah. They're like, I don't understand this movie.
They're part of the problem. Tell them to go watch Suicide Squad.
Is he not? And they're like, who is that girl? Is she real or not? And I was like, oh my god.
Dude, I know she's a hologram. Come on. Come on. You're part of the problem.
Or my favorite is when they're asking questions. Wait, what? Wait, why did he do that? Or who is he? And I'm like, I'm watching the same movie as you.
I think they were
asking questions. I don't know.
They weren't probably paying attention. It's not enough for our jokes.
It's like a 2.5 hour long movie, right?
it is slow. Yeah. It's pretty slow. If you're not invested, you're not gonna pay attention. I get that. I'm not gonna down them for that. It's not like a movie I can blindly recommend to everyone, but I would hope that they check it out.
I can see why it flopped and why like a lot of people didn't really enjoy it. But at the same time, like I think the fact that it was like an amazing visual and auditory experience just for that, like the cinematography and the sound design alone, I think were reason enough for me to really enjoy 2049.
Totally. And the narrative as well. Other than it being slow, I thought it was very good, solid writing.
I think the third act is like the ending of the film.
There's some issues I had with the thrusts or like the motivation for characters and why they're doing stuff.
But
yeah, still, even with that, pretty good.
Yeah, I think the character motivations are much better written and directed in the first Blade Runner movie than they are in the second. Like, you very much understand where people are coming from and why they do things. And you sympathize with all of them. Like, interestingly enough, even the bad guys, you know, you still sympathize with them.
Well,
like Tears in the Rain, you know.
Yeah.
Well, Rutger Hauer is the most sympathetic character, and yeah, you get that, but I don't know, like Deckard, he's kind of just
alcoholic, man.
Yeah,
he's an alcoholic.
I actually liked Rachel's character. I thought she acted it poorly, but I liked why they put the character there and what she represented. I thought
she was way too flat.
Yeah,
for me.
Yeah. I thought she was flat. I wish they had a different person acting, because like if you could see that chemistry between her and Deckard, and like lively enough where you're like, oh, this might be an actual human, not a replicant, you know, like if you could buy that, then, you know, that character, I understand why that character exists and there's a purpose for that character. It's kind of like, she's a thrust where you kind of question, or the first one at least, she was supposed to be the thrust of where you question, are replicants actually human? Because you're supposed to sympathize with this character and recognize she has human traits, but the actress didn't display any of that. So I'm like, okay, I'll forgive it a little bit because apparently she hates. I mean, they each hate each other. Harrison Ford. There was like a scene where he's making out with her. He actually shoved her a little too hard. But yeah, like, but that character, I get it. Like, she didn't act it well at all compared to Rutger Hauer. Like his character, like even when he's killing, his daddy, you see the emotions go through his face. Like the cycle of emotions, like it's so much better, so subtle too. But if I just like kind of project that onto what Rachel should have been, then I was like, I get it. It's the human element that exists in all of us. It's kind of the mundane, the everyday that you're supposed to see and recognize and kind of relate to, which the actress didn't really do a good job of portraying. So like what she represents, I like what she was supposed to be. I like as shown in the film. You're right, completely flat.
Yeah. Like the idea rather than
I like the idea, not the execution. Which is why I like Robot Waifu does a better job.
Robot Waifu does a much better job.
Yeah, she does a way better job. Yeah.
She actually provides thrust in the sense of like, oh, maybe you are the one, and she leads him to question a lot of his own thoughts. And what if he's like, oh shoot, what if I'm not a replicant?
You're right. Oh, you're right. Like, that's a good point. Dang. Good point. Oh, one thing.
Like,
yeah.
Like she is very important and integral to changing the character.
You're right. Yeah. I thought she was not important, but you're right. I didn't think of it in that way. Totally agree now. I see your point of view, Barry. I thought she was just there. Yeah.
Everything about her character informs Kay's character, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One problem I had though, just one tiny problem is when she had the hologram of the horse, and I was like, how did you know what the horse looked like? It's for the audience, obviously, like, oh, remember this? Mm-hmm. Wink, wink. I understand that, but like, how did she know what it looked like? She can't read its mind, unlike Memory Lady, who has a magic microscope that like can show you memories.
can look into your soul.
Yeah. Yeah, other than that, I was like, I see it. You're right, though. Now that you said it like that, I'm like, you're right. She developed this character. You're right.
Mm-hmm. And also, her death is a huge, very important part of his turning point, too.
Sad. It is so sad.
Of him being like, oh, now I'm willing to die for the cause. And like, time to go save.
I have nothing to live for. My robot wife is dead.
You thought you were at rock bottom?
Wrong, yeah.
Oh man. So sad.
It is sad. I can't get over how sad his character is. It's like nothing goes his way.
But it's good because it gets you to sympathize with a replicant.
Yeah.
And it helps once again blur that line between like what is human and what is a replicant.
Yeah. He's more human than
human.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's more human than some of the humans. And
oh,
there go the police.
Oh, it's a Blade Runner. He found a replicant.
They're hunting the replicants.
Yeah, they're hunting it, especially in Japan. Robot waifus are everywhere.
No, there's some real uncanny valley robots.
Yeah,
in Tokyo.
Yeah, I've seen some on YouTube, not in person.
I saw some in person. It's very disconcerting.
They're freaky, man. Don't look them in the eyes, man. It's freaky.
I made that mistake. I'm like, oh, I regret this. Let's get out of here.
She's staring back into my soul, into abyss.
They're like, run. I believe they're programmed to make eye contact.
Oh no.
And you're like, and then they look at you, and you're like, nope, that's it. I'm done. Yep, let's get out.
Run for your lives.
I'm good.
I was like, this is what someone trapped in their bedroom, living by themselves, thinks that human connection is.
Oh, that's so sad.
Properly displayed as this robot.
It's like an artist that's never made human contact in their whole life. They're rendering. Like,
those old medieval paintings where they didn't know what cats look like, so it's just like cat bodies with baby faces.
Oh.
Truly beautiful.
Or like the very first taxidermist attempt at making a tiger. They had no idea. They just brought back like the skin. And then he shows up and he's like,
I think I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that. It's a meme, right?
It's a real thing.
Yeah, no, it's a real thing.
My favorite is the Jesus Christ painting, where someone did the restoration. First year art student did it.
Yeah, it looks like a.
The story behind that one was that it's like some mentally distraught lady, like broke into a cathedral and painted over like an ancient, like a very old fresco, I think it was. And it's like, oh my god.
Unfortunate.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's very, very unfortunate. But yeah, like.
But now we have glorious memes as a result.
Now we have glorious memes.
Oh.
I thought that fake CGI Sean Young gave a good performance.
Yeah, you're right. It was better than the original.
It was better than original real Sean Young.
Yep.
Apparently, she helped direct the actress.
Oh,
who was her
really?
stand-in.
Okay.
For that, yeah. So she was there on set.
Wow.
Yeah, but notice, not with Harrison Ford.
You're right.
Oh, actually, no. They do have that one scene where he's like, "Oh, you got her eyes wrong" or something.
Yeah, her eyes are green or something like that. Just walks away, and then they just plaster.
Also, why would they? Yeah. Why would they forget such an integral detail like that? Like that to me is not. Doesn't make sense.
Wallace is just a throwaway character. That's why, you know.
I feel like they try to play Wallace as like a kind of god, but then they also kind of play him like he's not an important person at all.
Yeah. Which I appreciate, you know, he's just like there, and then you kind of forget about him.
He's just part of the world, like the rocks.
Isaiah, I was saying like they should have made Bezos the villain.
Jeff?
Yeah, Jeff Bezos, like
Jeff.
Old Jeff, and like the corporation is Amazon.
It's okay. That will be the future soon, Sam.
It already is. It already is.
We won't need a movie.
Yeah.
We're rapidly speeding towards this future.
Where we all work for Amazon for like next to nothing. Yep. All hail Amazon. Yep.
All hail Lord Amazon.
Lord Amazon.
Sponsor us, by the way.
Jeff Amazon. That's his name, yeah. Yes, please sponsor us. We will work in your factories anyway, sooner or later, so you might as well just start paying us now. Yeah. But
I'd say overall, third act of the first Blade Runner movie makes it a really good movie, and honestly puts it up there for me. But
yeah,
the third act of the second Blade Runner movie kind of just like it dies. It falls flat for me. Even though that stunning visual at the end where Kay is like dying in the snow.
Yeah, apparently there are some cuts where like Harrison Ford doesn't meet the daughter and like Kay is the actual son.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had some, well, you know, I don't know if it's an actual version, but they were just toying around with that idea. So like there's different ideas or endings they had that could have changed it. Yeah,
they could have Lord of the Rings it and made 12 endings.
Nah. I liked it though. I liked it as is.
I think it works well the way it is.
Yeah, I think it works well. I don't think it's I think it's strong emotionally and it's very hopeful.
It's a great catharsis.
Yeah.
There's a word for you guys to look up out there.
But I agree with you, Isaiah. I like Naked Robot Man, except for the dove. You know, again, where did he get the dove? That ruins it.
It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Where did really, Bear? Where did it come from? It's symbolism, but where did he find a dove?
I think there was a throwaway shot earlier in that scene with a dove.
Oh, really? Doves, I have to check now. I have to check. He just grabbed one? What's going through his mind?
He just grabs one as they're running along.
It's like, oh, dove. I gotta just grab it.
Got him. I'm gonna need this in like 3 to 6 minutes.
Yeah. Stay still. He like pets the bird, but then pets him with the nail side and it dies. Like, shoot, I gotta get another one. Just like scrambling. That's why he took so long. Just accidentally killing the dove. It's like, oh man, why did they put the nail in my hand again? Symbolism. Right. Yeah. The dub though.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dub and all.
Dub and all. Dub and all.
Dub and all.
No, it was a strong ending. Very iconic ending.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the reason why it was so strong was they don't spend a lot of time showing you. They show you bits and pieces here and just hit you with it in the end. That's why for me it was pretty strong. Whereas 2049 is developed more smoothly. It's like over time. It's like a nice crescendo. This one's like a sucker punch kind of. Like you knew it was coming, but you couldn't stop it.
Yeah. And I feel like I related a lot with that monologue.
Totally.
Because it's like, I feel like I've seen and experienced so many things, and it's just incredible. Like,
okay, not that part. I haven't seen a lot of things. I relate to the guy though, yeah.
Yeah, it's like.
Speaking of blatant symbolism, did you get the? There's obviously the nail in for Rutger Hauer in his hand, and at the end of Blade Runner, Love stabs Kay in the ribs.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Kind of like Jesus. All right. Okay, gotcha.
A little bit of Jesus, a little bit of Adam and Eve.
All right. Still better than The Matrix, where Keanu Reeves is literally on a cross and carried out.
Literally on a cross. Trinity helps him shows him the way.
Oh wow! Nice mention, Barry. I totally missed that. I just thought she ranked him. Yeah. Also, I think she's, like for robot waifu, she's a pretty close second for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can stab me any day. I mean, it's only gonna happen once, and I'm gonna die. But like,
no,
I'm not gonna kink shame.
I'm just saying, she has some issues, and I just want to help her out a little bit. She's probably gonna end up killing you anyways, but I'm like, hey, it might be worth it. No, okay.
I kind of wish that they toyed more with the idea of like she is capable of feeling emotions, and like she doesn't like working for Wallace, but she feels like she has to out of like love, obligation, fear. I feel like that would have been very interesting to play into.
Yeah, I think
there's a little bit of subtext there.
Yeah, there is a little bit.
Yeah, but I kind of wish they dove more into that. Yeah, I think that would have been a very interesting relationship to look at.
It's the Blade Runner problem, where if you dive into it, it kind of waters down the movie a little bit. But then if you don't delve into it, you don't get invested as much into the characters in the world. It's like a catch 2020, So I understand what he did.
22.
Yeah, Runner. Oh, okay. Good one. Blade Runner 2022, Boobs and Guns. There we go. That's our title. Okay. I'll write that down before I forget, because I haven't been getting a lot of sleep lately.
Yeah. But overall, I guess for my final thoughts, comments, I would say I enjoyed both films. I think that number one was a lot better made, but the second one, I enjoyed it for its cinematography, not as much as narrative, but character motivations and sound design. Yes.
Yeah, completely agree. I would also recommend 2049 over the original, just because I think it'll have it'll have more appeal. That's why I feel like I think
people enjoy it more.
Yeah, I think they'll enjoy it more, because I had more fun with that movie than the original. I appreciated the first one way more, and like it got me more in the feels with the ending scene of the original. But like the sequel, I was like, oh, this is well made. I'm not bored at all. I still got the feels too. I'm still thinking. Yeah.
The difference is that in the original, you feel a lot more for Rutger Hauer than you do Harrison Ford, and the new one you feel a lot more for Ryan Gosling.
So sad.
Than you do for Love.
Yeah. That's a good contrast.
So
even though he shows less emotion, right?
Yeah. He's wearing that fucking Ryan Gosling Mona Lisa smile the entire movie.
He did it so well, though. He did it so well.
What if him and Keanu did just
it works well.
Him and Keanu just like no emotion.
Delivery movie all the way through.
I would love it.
Keanu,
It would just be
and Keanu's monotone voice.
We need Keanu 2059.
Oh my god, Cyberpunk, dude, Ryan Gosling.
Cyberpunk Keanu.
Oh my god.
This is the crossover we need.
This is a crossover
We need. They're filming, by the way. They're filming Bill and Ted 3.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw shots from the set.
I'm throwing away all of my caution. All the caution's going to the wind. I'm going full optimism for this movie. I think it's going to be amazing.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so, dude.
I think the key is to expect it to be really bad. So when it's not really bad, you're like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
The first two movies weren't good, but they weren't good, but they were amazing.
True. I don't know if they can so like here's the problem. There's so
Station.
like the so dumb that it's genius level kind of movie doesn't exist anymore for me. I can't think of anything made in the Is there any? Because let me know. I would love.
The thing is, that movie is going to fail because nobody currently alive cares enough. Like the current movie-going audience is like the 0 through 29 crowd. We're like don't care. Most of the people who are going to the movies these days were born after 9/11. So,
but I think you're forgetting. It's
Keanu.
The Keanu-sans.
Yeah, Keanu-sans. This is where it ends. This is where it ends, dude.
I think Keanu has enough internet pull and popularity right now that the movie will do well.
I hope so.
Just because of Keanu.
Well,
I don't even know if that's
I think that's very true. I think that's true.
Wait. If you disagree here, let's take another prediction here. We're gonna write it down.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. So, Isaiah, you're saying the Keanu-sans will let's do box office.
Are we betting on budget?
No, box office opening 2 weeks.
Budget. Well, you have to. I don't know, man.
Let's do box office open, dude. All right.
Opening weekend.
Opening week. Opening the entire week.
What weekend does it come out? That is huge.
There's no details yet.
There's no details.
They're still filming.
We're gonna do a
prediction.
prediction.
It comes out, like wintertime, it's got to compete with Star Wars.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right. But if it comes out even later, like in the summer, it's got to compete with Marvel. So that means it's either going to be a late summer release or maybe early fall.
Let's test it out. I think the Keanu-sans is going strong still, you know?
I think the Keanu-sans is strong.
All right. So let's
he
take
was just in Toy Story 4, and they're probably going to bring him into Marvel.
You're right. He's just gonna be John Wick. That's his power. He kills people.
As long as it's not a fuck you, it's January movie.
Okay. All right, Barry, you're saying the Keanu-sans won't work and that people who care are dead already. Yeah. What's your estimation?
Star Draw just isn't as powerful as it once was.
Okay.
Okay.
That's true. He made the point with Edge of Tomorrow, where Tom Cruise didn't bring in the views.
He didn't bring anyone in for that movie.
Yeah, but I like Keanu better. Yeah, Matt Damon.
Yeah,
I think Keanu is more lovable though, right?
I mean, but like it's the same level of stardom, right?
Yeah.
I would say less. I would say he's less. He's more like a B-lister who got a lot of internet appeal.
Keanu? I don't know. Keanu's definitely an A-lister.
I mean, he used to be.
I consider him to be an A-lister.
Really?
Matrix movies?
That was a long time ago,
all the
though.
Matrix movies.
Talking about currently.
I don't think that matters. I don't think that
really
matters.
Okay. All right.
Anyways, I think once you reach that class, it's always the same.
It's there forever.
Let's take some estimations. Let's write it down. Estimations, just rough estimations, because we don't know how movies do, but like we can compare it. Like, do you want some base points? Do you want to see how well Blade Runner did?
What was like Endgame? Because that's the highest, right?
Yeah, that's the highest. All right.
Endgame was 2.65 billion.
Billion? Okay, it's not gonna reach that. Let's look at something more realistic. Blade Runner.
Let's not shoot. Is literally the second highest grossing movie of all time. Non-adjusted for inflation, of course.
Okay.
Well, now with the end scene, didn't it just pass?
Did it?
I think it did, right? I think so.
Mm.
I mean, that's probably why they did it.
Anyway,
no, that's definitely why they did it. That's 110% why they did it.
And
But I still don't think they hit their mark.
All right.
Oh, it's number 1.
Wow. Okay.
Endgame beat Avatar? Question mark.
If you want some base numbers, Blade Runner 2049 did 31.5 million opening week. All right.
Wow, it's getting close. As of 4 hours ago, it's 12 million shy. So just
wow. Okay.
barely there.
It might crawl past if they keep it in theaters like an extra,
no.
like extend the run a little bit.
They will extend the run probably extra like 2 weeks, and that will be enough, I think. Yeah. A lot of people are going to rewatch it.
Totally, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
Opening week for Blade Runner 2049, 35.1 million. Edge of Tomorrow was 20.1 million. So these are the lower,
so that's like the lower end.
The lower end.
Yeah.
All right. I think you can estimate like 100 million for a decent film. Like, let's look up Toy Story.
No, 100 million is an exceptional film.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
100 million is
opening weekend. 100 million is like ridiculously good on an opener.
Say 50 million then.
50 million is pretty good.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's average good.
Toy Story 4 opens with 1.18 million. When I see another number, 135 million. Sorry, 118 million.
Yeah.
Well,
that's really good.
Very well.
Huge franchise.
All right. So those are basically your boundaries. You got like 15 million to about 135 million. So let's take our guesses here.
Are we estimating opening weekend, or are we estimating overall draw?
Opening week. Yeah.
Not just the problem with like Blade Runner and Annihilation was not just the opening weekend, but the drop off.
Totally.
The drop off was precipitous. It was like the Marianas Trench.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
It just dropped out of nowhere to nowhere. I mean, I'm thinking that this movie probably won't have legs either. So we can do box office opening week, and then we can do just gross. We can do 2 estimations if you want. So then, like, you can predict that it'll do pretty poorly opening week, but then it'll do better throughout its lifetime, or that you can predict that it'll do pretty well and then just do that's it. You can make any types of guesses now. All right, let's take down your guesses.
I say
I'm gonna put an asterisk after mine.
Okay.
I'm gonna make 2 estimates, even though that's unfair.
Oh, that's fine.
No, I'll do 2 too.
Yeah, all right.
Let me start with mine then. Okay,
you lead.
Because there's no... Okay. I'm going to look this up really quick. Give me a sec.
Gotcha.
Bill and
what is this research?
Oh, oops.
Well, because if the budget is less than 50 million for this film, which it probably is.
It probably is, yeah.
Then I will estimate an overall draw of 200 million or less.
Total. Gross.
Total.
Okay.
Gross. Okay. If it's over 50 million, which probably means they're spending more budget, not just on the film, but on promotion, then I would say, man, probably like 250 million or more. You know what? Probably like 300 million or more.
Okay.
But even that's a pretty bold prediction, because I don't know if anybody outside of the domestic market cares about this movie at all.
Well, if you're right, I'll admit that The Last Jedi was the perfect movie ever made.
I never claimed that.
Okay.
I never claimed that.
No. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna claim it. I'm gonna claim it. I'm gonna claim it as a first person.
With Battlefront on the line, I've been leaning a little more towards Star Wars.
Yeah. No, come on, Isaiah. It's not that bad, right? It can't be worse than Suicide Squad. They're wearing like giant shoes. You know, they look goofy. No, okay. All right, well, yeah.
So 250 is the high end.
Okay,
man,
Isaiah.
that means I have to change my numbers because they were lower than that. Wait, what'd you say for opening?
Yeah, what about
I didn't say opening.
Oh, no guesses?
I mean,
do you think this movie will have legs? I don't think so.
I don't think so
Domestically,
either.
yes. Internationally, I seriously doubt it. It might have a strong opening, but I don't.
Yeah.
I really don't think anybody cares about this movie outside of the U.S. Because this is a cult. It's a cult movie essentially.
It's a cult film. Yeah.
It's a cult film. It would be like, I don't know what even the equivalent would be. Like Blade
Wayne's
Runner.
World.
Blade Runner. Yeah, I guess like
Wayne's World.
like Wayne's World.
Yeah, Wayne's World.
But like they never re-released that.
Yeah.
Or, like,
I mean, they made a second movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was filmed in Illinois too, I think.
Really? Could have been part of it. Could have been part of it. All right, Isaiah, your guess is.
Total?
Yeah.
Well, I said
opening too. If you get
here,
if you get opening right, yeah.
I'm being very optimistic with my estimates.
No, these are very generous.
I'll take a note there.
Extremely generous.
I was gonna go less than yours actually.
All right, let's hear your guesses. By the way, if you get we'll do it. We'll make it more spicy. If you get opening week correct, we will skip Pandorum.
Oh,
unacceptable! I refuse these terms.
Refuse? Okay.
I do not consent to these terms.
Okay. All right. No consent. All right. All right.
I say opening weekend.
Yeah. Again, 15 is the low end, lower end. 135 is like the top.
I say 65.
65. Holy cow! All right.
Gross?
Yeah.
No opening.
No opening.
Opening.
Okay.
Opening.
Wow. Quite generous there. Wow.
Yes. Generous.
Wow. Generous. Very generous. Yeah.
But for gross, I want to go lower than Barry. Actually.
Okay.
I think that this movie will do very well initially, and then not have legs and die.
All right. That's my prediction too.
By the way.
But then it'll make its money back in streaming and DVD release.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no way to measure that though. There's no.
Yeah, but we don't know how to measure that.
Just a little bit more perspective. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a leg up here. Dread. Remember Dread?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That the movie was okay.
How much do you think that made opening weekend in gross?
Like maybe 50?
30 mil?
Okay, let's start with the opening weekend. How much do you think it made opening weekend?
Weekend?
Yeah. Like 40?
2 mil?
50?
It made 6 million opening weekend.
Wow, that's really low.
So really knowing that, what do you think gross was?
I'll still say like 100 mil, right? Yeah, at least 100 mil, right?
$35 million gross.
That's it?
Yeah,
it's like nothing.
I don't think it did that well.
On a budget of $50 million.
Wow, oh my god, you lost money.
That's a tank right there, man. Well, they probably made it back in the future from streaming.
It tanked harder than the Hindenburg, dude.
All right,
that's a rip, man.
Well, I don't think it's gonna do that bad. Isaiah, what's your estimation for gross?
Gross?
Yeah. This is for Bill and Ted 3.
We're counting international as well?
Yeah, everything.
Oh. I still kind of want to say under 200.
Okay, under 200. Honestly, we have it.
Like one. I say 145.
145. Okay.
So my range of victory is 145 to 200.
Yeah. This is like The Price is Right, you know?
I think that these are decent odds.
All right.
You've got great odds.
Down.
You got 145 down.
All right, this is my estimation.
No, you should do 144.
144.
You should Price is Right his ass.
Yeah. I'm doing. Okay, no, I'm not gonna do it. I am lame, dude. I am lame. I'm doing 10 mil opening and 50 mil gross.
Big answer, Sam.
I'm doing very small. Very small.
Gross.
Small. It's very small. I'm saying it's gonna fail. The Keanu Reevaissance is dead.
No, I have faith in the Keanu Reevaissance.
I don't think it's gonna last much longer.
All right, whoever wins just gets to pick the next movie. Yeah.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. And it can't be Pandorum or Battlefield Earth.
No,
we're saving that for Christmas. We're saving for that's a contest. Yeah.
No, we're doing Star Wars on Christmas. That was the plan.
No, I'm saying like, and then after that, the winner gets to pick Pandorum or Battlefield
No, the winner
Earth.
gets to pick of those two. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I guess.
Right. That way the stakes are high, right?
No, the winner of the Star Wars debate gets to pick those two movies. But this one we could do something else. Just pick another movie.
Yeah, no, exactly.
After Earth.
After Earth.
Like
I've actually seen After Earth.
Oh, really? Okay. Was it bad or no?
It was kind of bad.
It's kind of like
not as bad as people make it out to be. I think.
I heard the main problem was that the acting was just super flat.
Which is unfortunate because both of them are very talented actors.
Okay.
Will Smith and Little Will Smith.
Jaden Smith, absolutely.
Smith
Have you heard his music? He's a legend.
And I heard his Twitter is a legend.
I've not heard his music.
I'm gonna drop you some links, Barry. It's fire, dude.
Whip your hair back
This
and
is
forth.
not a joke. I actually like Jaden Smith.
Oh, okay.
He's actually making a name for himself too.
Interesting. All right. Well, we have our bets
what movie
down.
I would want to pick. If I win,
I'm going to reiterate this. Bill and Ted, we're guessing how much it's going to open and gross. Barry has a very optimistic estimation of 200 mil gross. 300 mil plus, sorry, gross. And then 200 to 300 plus, either one. And then Isaiah has 65 mil for opening, 145 mil for grossing. I have a 10 mil for opening and 50 mil for gross.
I don't remember what I said. What was my opening? Like 50?
You didn't have a guess for
I don't think you said an opening.
I don't think I said an opening. Yeah.
Do you want to get?
I guess I'll just say like 25.
Oh, okay. You think this movie has a lot of legs?
I think it has legs. I think if it comes out and it's not a huge piece of crap, even if it is a piece of crap, and
people
as
will
long as
watch
it's
it.
fun.
Yeah.
As long as it's a fun movie, because it's all the original movies where this is just fun.
I just think they can't make that type of movie anymore. The formula is lost to time.
I don't think so. I think you can make whatever the hell movie you want as long as it's done with care.
I don't know. I feel like you need some kind of like magical. You just need LSD. Just sprinkle that on that movie, and it turns great.
Yeah, the original movies were made were fueled by LSD and cocaine.
Really, I thought so. See, that's what's missing. I can feel it. Yeah, it makes so much sense. Like, you need the LSD.
I mean, very clearly so, right?
Yeah.
I now perfectly understand the synopsis of this film.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, if you watch the stoner movies, they aren't as good. We just doesn't bring out the same thing in these people working in the film. You need that LSD.
You needed that fucking insane energy.
Yeah.
You know?
Don't do drugs. We're just joking.
What's the one surfer Keanu film?
I don't know.
Is that Point Break?
I think
that's the climbing film.
Point
Break's about climbing.
Is it? Everything is the same to me. So.
Is it not? I don't know. I haven't seen it. I was under the impression it was about climbing.
No, I don't think so. After striking a string of bizarre bank robberies in Southern California with the crooks donning masks of various former presidents, a federal
That's
agent,
Point Break?
Johnny Utah, Keanu Reeves, infiltrates the suspected
gang of surfers. All right.
But this is no ordinary group of robbers. They're surfers, led by the charismatic Bodie, Patrick Swayze, who are addicted to the rush of thievery.
Wait. Gary Busey is in this movie? I think I want to watch this now.
24 million budget, 85 million box office.
Okay. So
this is why they call it Point Break. In Ragnarok.
Point Break even. Yeah.
Oh, right. Looking at the poster, I understand now.
You can see the poster. It makes sense.
Dang.
All right. Well, any closing thoughts as it went up on a long tangent?
No, I think I pretty much already summed up what I was gonna.
Okay.
What I liked about the movie. Yeah.
Any thoughts on Denis Villeneuve, the director?
On who?
The director. Yeah.
Denis Villeneuve.
Denis Villeneuve. What else did he make?
Arrival, Sicario.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude's a legend.
He is a legend.
I know, right?
Prisoners?
And he is attached to the Dune project that's currently filming.
Yeah, I'm interested now. Barry mentioned it. I was like, I want to check it out because I like this guy after watching 2049.
Why is this guy so talented yet all of his movies flop?
That's how it is.
Made money. Sicario made money.
But they weren't as big as they should have been.
Yeah.
Like they were nowhere near as good or as big as they should have been.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably because
man, he's cursed. That's the only explanation.
Maybe he's cursed.
Maybe he's cursed.
Man makes great movies. I said that he's probably the most talented sci-fi director alive.
It's like when you get your wish granted by a genie, but it's a really shitty genie. It's like, you will make the best sci-fi movies.
And no one will care.
Yeah, no one will care.
No one will care about. You'll become a legendary director that no one cares about, and all your movies will not make that much money. Dude, that's really sad.
That is sad.
Wow, that just makes me sad for this movie now.
Yeah, I hope
this director
Dune does well. I hope he gets like more original sci-fi to work with, because Blade Runner is a sequel of sorts. Dune is a straight up remake. So
yeah.
I hope he gets more original works to go on.
Totally.
Because I imagine it's been a long time since The Matrix, right?
Yeah.
When is the next breakthrough movie coming? It's been a very long time.
Endgame.
Are you talking about Star Wars? The upcoming Star Wars movie?
Are you talking about just in the world of sci-fi?
The Last Jedi?
Or
The Rise of Skywalker?
Rise of Skywalker? I'm kidding. Star Wars stopped being sci-fi a long time ago.
And science fantasy.
Yeah.
As Red Letter Media.
It's not even science, it's just fantasy.
But that's all what it always was. That's what it always was. It was never sci-fi.
That's what it was appealing.
It's a space opera.
Yeah. It happened to be set in space.
It's a space opera. If you go into Star Wars and claim that it's sci-fi, then you've probably never watched a sci-fi movie. Where it's people standing around in a room talking about how their warp reactor is broken, and they spend 90 minutes fixing it. and that's the movie.
Yeah.
What anime is this? Where they power up for 10 minutes?
Dragon Ball Z.
And then it becomes 3 episodes long.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z, literally. Dragon Ball Z is sci-fi.
Like the recent Japanese Godzilla movies, probably I would classify that as sci-fi.
Oh, okay.
It's people standing around. It's people standing around in a room solving a problem. It was Shin Godzilla. It has nothing to do with the fat American Godzilla.
King of Monsters.
Yeah, King of Monsters, which I still haven't seen. I kind of want to see.
It looks pretty okay. Yeah, it looks fun.
It's critically panned, but like I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care.
Who cares? I just want to see Godzilla punch a fucker.
I think people liked it. They're like, the narrative is garbage, but Godzilla destroys things, which is exactly what you want in a Godzilla film.
That's all you care about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spectacle. You know?
Like when I watch Pacific Rim, I don't really care about, oh, you lost your brother, bro. I want to see you punch monsters in the face with a giant
Exactly.
Rocket fist.
Russian nuclear reactor.
Oh, that's the movie we should do next. We should do Pacific Rim.
Really?
You want to do Pacific Rim?
I
mean, I'd be down.
Or like, if you watch Spider-Man this week, then we should do.
Should we do the new Pacific Rim and the old Pacific Rim?
I
haven't seen the new one.
I haven't seen it, so
I want to see the new one.
We should watch it. We need to do it for science.
For science,
yeah.
I would love to talk Spider-Man though. That'd be a lot of fun.
You know what? I'll go watch it.
Yeah, Sam?
I'll go watch it this week. Yeah.
Spider-Man?
Yeah, I'll go watch Spider-Man. I got pony up some cash.
All right.
I got a credit card. That's what it's for. All right. If you would like to send donations, please check out my Twitch page. fund my life.
Start a GoFundMe, and it's only $10.
Yeah.
So I can get a movie ticket.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? I'm gonna do that. You joke.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to
you know.
e-bag too much.
I will say it was an enjoyable movie. Very
Okay.
much.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with you said that this has the best action sequence. Your favorite action sequence from any Marvel movie? I don't
I
know if
wouldn't
I
say
agree with
any
that.
Marvel movie, but I think it's probably one of the I honestly enjoyed it, and I thought it was one of the most visually impressive fight scenes that I've seen in any Marvel film. Yeah.
I did see the trailer, and it seemed like there's a lot of stuff going on.
You know what else? Are we talking about the same scene, Barry?
I don't. The final action scene?
Yeah, the final action set piece. You didn't like it?
I didn't dislike it. I thought it was good. I don't think I would rate it as the best action scene. More because it was visually great. I loved everything.
Visually, like incredible.
I loved everything they did with Spider-Man in the scene. I think that I generally prefer action to be a little bit more grounded.
You want it to be
John
I don't
Wick.
need
Raid.
it. I don't
The
need it
Raid.
to be like the Raid or whatever, but like I don't know, because it was mostly CG. I just need a little bit more
Less CG.
real.
You need more Captain America fighting Bucky with a knife.
Yeah.
Then
I need more of America's ass.
yeah, the knife handling by him. He actually did by himself.
Is honestly amazing.
Yeah.
Still really impresses me.
I saw him go through the training and stuff. He spent like hours doing the knife motions.
Dude, speaking of grounded martial arts films, Shaolin Soccer.
Shaolin Soccer, heck yeah.
Shaolin Soccer.
You know,
Kung Fu Hustle.
I watched.
We should do that. We should do that for like a to-go episode.
Yeah. I watched Shaolin Soccer, the original cut, and I think they cut out like 20 minutes or something for like the American release. There's a lot of like talking going on in that movie, and the people are watching like, this is boring. Yeah, dialogue. And I was like, guys, this movie is awesome. Just wait for it. It'll be worth it. I promise. Yeah.
You guys should watch The Mermaid. I think it's called.
Mermaid? No.
Is
that one of his earlier films?
It's a later film. It came out 2016.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, directed by Stephen Chow. It was very under the radar. Like no one cared about it stateside, but it did pretty well. 55 mil for box office, or 553 mil. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It flew very much under the radar, but I thought it was very good. And the CGI in that movie is pretty impressive.
Really?
Yeah.
The Mermaid, you're right.
In Shaolin Soccer is like literally so bad that it's good.
Yeah,
it literally it's so bad that it makes the movie better. The same thing with like Kung Fu Hustle.
Yeah, it elevates the film.
Okay, I'll read the little blurb.
Makes everything better.
Shan, a mermaid, is sent to assassinate Zuan. Anyway, I can't pronounce these. A developer who threatens the ecosystem of a race, but ends up falling in love with them instead. It sounds like a K-drama.
It's so Stephen Chow.
All right, I'm watching this movie.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. The Chinese Hong Kong fantasy romantic comedy. Yeah.
A rom-com. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess we could do. Let's definitely shoot for a Spider-Man this coming week.
All right, we'll do it. I'll watch it. Don't worry.
Then we can do a to-go episode on like Pacific Rim or
we do Evangelion.
Shaolin Soccer, Evangelion.
Yeah, because we got a request.
Man, Evangelion. Isaiah, have you seen?
Nope.
Yeah, I mean it's 26 episodes or something.
Oh, the TV series? I thought I was talking about the movie.
Yeah, there's no point in watching that movie without having seen the TV series.
No, that'll be interesting. I want to see
absolutely nothing.
That's why it'll be funny.
It's the animes.
It's an anime, yeah.
Is there only one season?
Yeah, right?
Of Evangelion? No. Well, it's a 2 core, but it's one season. It's
Bro,
like
we
4
should
episodes.
we should do One Punch Man.
one Punch.
One Punch.
One Punch
They
Man.
just finished season 2.
Yeah, they just finished season 2. We could do One Punch Man, but then like it has to be a full episode because you got to spend some time covering all the stuff that it's making fun of.
Okay.
There's tons of stuff in there, like some very subtle and some not so subtle nods. And like there's so much meta humor in that show. What?
Evangelion? There's a store in Tokyo. What?
Oh, really?
I'm sure there is. It's a fucking cultural phenomenon,
it's
my
in
friend.
Ikebukuro. Oh,
I'm not a fan though. I'm not a fan.
I mean, it's definitely not a perfect anime, but you cannot deny the cultural impact.
Totally. Like when it came out, it was the only thing people talked about. That and Cowboy Bebop were pretty much the always top 2
I feel like
reference
One Punch
anime.
Man has kind of died though. Like in Japan, I don't see any like merchandise, any advertising.
It stopped being.
The second season was not nearly as good.
Yeah, it stopped being a parody and just became what it was making fun of.
I mean, that's fine though. It's the same
it's
thing
fine.
that
It's good.
with Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball was making fun of action shonen anime, and then it became everything that it hated.
The mermaid is kind of cute though. Yeah.
It's literally Dragon Ball, and in fact, it's making fun of Dragon Ball on several levels. It's making fun
this
of.
This is so meta. It's making fun of itself by not making fun of itself because it used to make fun of itself.
It's too many layers, dude. Too many layers.
Levels, man.
We're going too deep. All right, let's do this.
There's levels to this shit.
We're gonna do End of Evangelion, but Isaiah's not gonna watch the anime, and then I want to see the entire episode is Isaiah's. You just watch the movie, and then we're gonna see your take.
The whole episode is me being like,
I
don't understand.
Yeah, what is going on? And then Barry's just explaining. Yeah, Barry's just what is this?
Why is this?
Why is this? Why is Shinji such a little wuss? And
I think you'll like it, Isaiah. There's boobs.
Anime boobs.
I'm ready. That's all you need to say.
But yeah, I think it's very interesting because like I want to see someone watch it without any context whatsoever and then try to formulate an opinion on it, and then I want to see what that opinion is.
Oh no, you know what? Here's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
There's multiple movies.
Yeah.
You watch this movie. There's a bunch of different movies. Okay.
We'll
what
just
you
pick
want
one.
to watch is End of Evangelion.
Yeah.
You do not want to watch Evangelion 1.0, 2.0, or 3.0. You want to watch.
Don't ask questions. Yeah, there's numbers.
What?
Yeah.
End of Evangelion is the one.
I'm so confused.
It's okay.
Don't worry
about
it.
Yeah.
I'll explain it to you later.
It's gonna be like a 5-hour podcast. Yeah.
This is 300 minutes long.
What? End of Evangelion? Is it?
Evangelion?
No, not Rebuild. Not Rebuild.
Okay, this is 90 minutes. Okay, that's doable.
End of Evangelion. Do not Rebuild is not what you want to watch.
300 minutes. What the?
Don't question it. We'll talk about that later.
Was that like, hey, let's make a TV show? Oh wait, we don't have budget for a TV show. Let's make it into a movie.
No, they had more than budget for it. It's complicated.
Okay.
But watch End of Evangelion, and then we're gonna spend the first opening of the review. You're gonna tell us what you think the show is about.
That's good too. Yeah, I like this. This is like our original vision for the anime podcast we had.
That's all you need. Just tell me what you think the show is about.
I walked in on some people watching Akira, and it was like towards the third act, and I was just like, what in the hell is going on?
Oh yeah, that movie goes places, dude.
Part of that movie to jump in.
Yeah. It's like, what's happening?
I was just I was like, I don't understand.
All right, for context, for people listening, Isaiah is not a weeb, so this will be great.
Even though he's in Weebland.
Yeah, he's in Weebland. He's trapped there. # free Isaiah. I'm just joking. He's not trapped there. Send help. We have we have a tips page. I'm just kidding.
I'm going back.
You can actually go to Akiba and buy a physical copy of End of Evangelion and watch it.
Oh, I think that's like you're like turning him into otaku.
It'll probably cost like $200.
Yeah. What next? A body pillow?
Get a Daki, dude. Bring me back one.
It's going to a maid cafe.
Oh man,
Oh.
they're so awkward. They're so awkward.
Yeah, I would not want to go, but I would definitely go to the place that picks your ear for you.
You have to go, dude. You just got to do it. Maid cafe.
But okay, I'll do it.
It's an experience. A really weird one.
Okay. I think we lost Isaiah for a little bit, but anyways, that's a great plan. So all right, we are doing Pacific Rim 1 and 2 for next week's episode. And for a Pointy hat,
if you see Spider-Man this week.
Oh, Spider-Man! Sorry, Spider-Man. I forgot already. My bad. I forgot. I actually forgot. We're gonna do Spider-Man Far From Home next week, and then we will do End of Evangelion. Whoa! As per requested by Fink for a Pointy hat to go bonus content. Also, if you want to send us any email questions, comments, movies you would like to see, you can email us at pointyhatcast@gmail.com. Again, it's pointyhatcast@gmail.com. There's no duh in the front. I made a mistake last week. Yeah. All right. With that, any closing thoughts? Anything else you guys want to talk about before we go?
I'm very excited to see Isaiah's take.
Me too, because
how much am I gonna hate this?
I don't know if you'll hate it at all. I think you're just gonna be really confused.
Barry, you're funding us. Yeah.
My prediction is this movie has absolutely no value without having seen this series before.
Yeah, me too. But it's great.
It's really zero value.
There's like one sentence in Google explaining the movie. It's like Nerve faces off against the 18th angel, humanity itself. But in the end of the fate of the world depends on Shinji's choices. This effectively explains nothing.
Yeah. No, you're probably better off going into it cold.
Yeah.
Reading a synopsis will make you more confused.
Also, you're not gonna watch the anime. You're probably gonna not like the anime anyways, so might as well do this, right? You're gonna watch a 90-minute
like
movie.
Cloud Atlas, where I watched it, and then I read a synopsis, and somehow I came out more confused after I'd seen the film.
Yeah.
The actual anime is not as complex or deep as people make it out to be.
It's not. It's pretty straightforward.
It is confusing though.
How many brain cells do I have to be able to rub together to understand this?
At least 5.
3.
More than 2?
Oh, I was gonna say 5.
3.
Well, 5 brain cells. I was thinking at least 5. Because when you rub them together, not all of them will touch at the same time. So I'm just throwing in more, just so you get a higher chance of brain cells touching together.
Oh my! So are we doing this next week, or when are we gonna do this?
Whenever you're free.
We'll do it at some point during this next week, whenever you're free, whenever after you've watched it.
Alright.
Yeah. It'll be nice and sweet. Also, you don't have to watch anything because you already watched Spider-Man. So all I gotta do is watch Spider-Man before Sunday, and then you just I have to watch End of Evangelion too because it'll be nice to brush up. But all you gotta do is watch a 90-minute anime movie that you know nothing about. It's probably gonna be super confusing because you lack the context of watching 26 episodes before that. That explains everything to you. So
what is it? Kimi no Nawa?
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like your name?
Yeah.
So the director just came out with his second film.
Oh, really?
And it released maybe a week ago in Japan. And it's like kind of hyped, but also I heard reviews are kind of bad. So I don't know if I'll go watch it or not. But
Turning into a weeb, dude. You're staying in Japan way too long. You gotta get out.
I know. I must run.
You must run. You gotta come back with a body pillow.
Come back. You're espousing the virtues of your waifu.
Yeah, you're gonna come back with a robot waifu. You're like, oh my god, don't look at her. Don't look at her eyes. She's staring at you.
Man, I see people literally spend like $20 to $30 to win like a plastic figurine at the arcade, and I'm like, oh man.
Why?
Gotcha
oh
games.
man.
They call it gotcha games because they gotcha. They gotcha cash.
They got you good.
They got you good.
Have you been into a pachinko parlor?
No.
Yeah.
They are so loud. I was unprepared for how
It just smells of smoke.
ear-breakingly loud those things are.
Wait, isn't it like, didn't they make it so that you can use those balls to pay for stuff? There's some gambling laws in place.
I don't know what the deal is, but like I wanted to play.
Yeah.
I wanted to try it,
Yeah.
and I walked into a pachinko parlor. And I was in there for like 30 seconds, and I turned to the guy I was with. I'm like, I can't do this. I like immediately have a migraine headache.
You gotta bring earplugs. It's the only way.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Like you can tell where they are just from how loud they are, like a block away.
For such a quiet country, it amazes me how loud pachinkos are.
Yeah, you're like walking down the street and you just hear like it's like a hurricane. You're like, oh, there's a pachinko parlor.
Thousands of metal balls clanging against things.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
My God. But yeah, I don't know. I digress. I'm excited to see your take on what the fuck is going on in Evan.
Alright.
Okay, me too. I, especially with zero context, because like, yeah, not a huge fan, but I can't.
Don't say anything.
I won't.
I'll see for myself.
Yeah.
You'll see for yourself.
You'll see for yourself. You can be disappointed by yourself, you know. All right, that's great. So next week we'll do a podcast on Spider-Man: Far From Home. Reiterate, this week we did Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049. Highly recommended by all three of us, so please go check it out so that more movies of this caliber get made. Yeah.
What'd you guys rank?
Oh, that's
films?
right. We need your score. So we have a Suicide Squad rating system. It's based on how many Suicide Squads do you give this movie. Don't think too much. There's no actual science behind this. Barry gave Blade Runner 7 Suicide Squads. I gave Blade Runner 9, and then 2049 Barry gave a 9 as well, and I also gave 2049 a 9. Currently, this is our highest rated movie so far. All right, what about you?
Really? You guys were both 9s?
Yeah, for
I
2049.
think I rated something else a 9. I don't remember what it was.
It's not on here.
Man, I don't know if I'd rate it that high.
Well, you're thinking too much. It's just Suicide Squads, right?
Might have to take the score a little bit.
all right. So first Blade Runner, how many Suicide Squads? Remember, we're comparing it to Suicide Squad.
First Blade Runner.
You can go up to 11. You gave Inception 11. We're not counting this yet because we haven't seen it, but just for a scale.
But you guys haven't rated it yet, so we'll see.
Yeah.
I'd say 8.
8. Okay. Wow.
Yeah,
all right.
I'll give it a flat 8. I think.
And 2049.
Man, maybe 8.5.
Wow. Okay.
I'd give it a 9.
You gave it higher than the original, though. All right.
I originally gave it an 8, and I thought about it for a minute. I'm like, I'll bump it up.
8.9. Yeah, again, there's no actual system to how Suicide Squad rating system works. Oh, please don't think about it. All right.
The harder you think about it, the more your brain's gonna hurt.
Yeah, it's kind of like Suicide Squad. All right. Well, we have a rating system down. Okay. Again, next week's episode on Spider-Man: Far From Home, we'll cover End of Evangelion for a bonus content episode. If you have any comments, questions, requests for movies to go over, please email us at pointyhatcast@gmail.com. It should be forwarded to all 3 of our emails, so we should all get it, and then we'll probably ignore it. I'm just kidding. We'll read it on the show, and now our podcast will turn into 5 hours if you do that. Okay.
Oh man.
Yeah, please check out Blade Runner 2049. It's a well-made film. We wouldn't recommend it unless it was well-made. It's not going to appeal to everyone, but it's definitely worth checking out and supporting. All right, with that, any closing thoughts before we go?
Thanks for stopping by, guys.
Yes.
Stay pointy.
Stay pointy. Stay pointy. Till next time.